Well, greetings and salutations, everybody. Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is John Campea, and this is the best damn movie-related show on the planet Earth. And it's good to have you here, guys, and it's good to be here. I'm back. Took a little bit of a trip. We'll talk about that in just a little second, but it is an awesome honor and privilege, as it is every day, to have you, our international friends, gather around to talk about our favorite things in the world, movies, movie news, TV, streaming, and all sorts of good stuff. And joining me sitting over here, she did such a great job in the host chair yesterday. Chris Carr is here. Chris, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks so much, John. That means a lot, because yesterday Ray and I were sweating, but Jonathan steered the ship really, really well for us.
And speaking of which, over there is Ray Ora. Ray is joining you guys in the live chat. Ray, how you doing?
I should be sleeping right now.
This is your nap time?
It is 2 o'clock in the afternoon. He is normally asleep by now.
I'm usually home at 2:30, and then I usually pass out.
Same. I usually do a nice little 25er right now.
Yeah.
And, of course, not joining us today is Sicky McPetri Dish. Robert Meyer Burnett, as he has shared on social media.
Mr. Hugs everyone.
He tested positive for COVID. Fortunately, Jonathan got tested. I had to get tested before I got on the plane to come back. So let's get this out of the way quick. The reason, for those of you watching live, the reason today's show is at such an unusual time is because I flew in this morning. I'm operating on very little sleep. So if I act a little bit more loopy than normal, that might have something to do with it. And so this was the earliest we could do a show today. So that's when we're doing it, is right now. Good to have you guys here. And I just want to say a big thank you to all of you guys for all your well wishes and stuff you sent. I am happy to report that my mom made it out of her surgery, which the doctor said she most likely would not. And so she has made it out of her surgery, which was the biggest hurdle. Still a long road ahead, but that is good news. And I am now back. I'll be going back up to Canada again, probably in a week or two. But for now, I'm here. So thank you to everybody. And also a big thank you to, we shouldn't even call him, you know what? I hereby decree that fact checker Jonathan is no more. He is now producer Jonathan. Jonathan Boyko is now producer Jonathan. So I just want to say a big thank you to producer Jonathan, because until he joined the staff again, it was not possible for there to be a John Campea show without John Campea here, because not only was I hosting the show, I was operating the show. I was running all the camera switching, the graphics, the audio, everything. And now it's possible for a show to happen without me here because of producer Jonathan. So thank you to Jonathan. Also, big thank you to Chris and to Ray and Rob for making the show happen when I'm not here.
Kind of Rob.
Kind of
Not really. Not really, but okay.
He's sick. We'll just say something nice about him. So a big thank you to everybody, because it's the first time in 5 years that there's been a John Campea show without John Campea. And it's just feels so good knowing we're able to do that. So thank you to everybody for all of that. All right, guys, here's how today's late show is going to go. We're going to break the show up into 2 parts. In the first half of the show, we're going to talk about some predetermined topics. And in the second half of the show, we're going to take your live comments and questions. Now, to get a live comment or question on, number one, you got to be watching live. And then when we get near the end of the final main topic, we will announce that we're opening up super chats. Then you guys can fire in some super chats, and we will read those off after we're done the final topic of the day. So that's how that's going to go. But before we get into our main topics here, let's do an off the top, and that is this. Some of you may know that in a previous life, and I've had several, I've had the law firm life. I had the road construction life.
That sweet, sweet breakdancing.
I had the breakdancing period of my life. But I worked in CGI and visual effects for a while. And one of the first real movies that the very small company that I worked with, one of the first big real movies we worked on was Sean Connery's League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
His best work, probably.
Oh, by far.
Yeah.
Like, where is it on the top 10 in the AFI?
Oh my God. Number 1, it better be.
Like, at very bottom,
out after that
4. 3 or 4 at worst. Yeah, not a great film. Not a great film at all, but we did work on that. Our little company, we did the Invisible Man on Fire shots.
Which is cool.
Which was very, especially at the time. Especially at the time. But the movie was trash. It was so bad, Sean Connery never made another movie again. And by the way, guys, a little trivia for you. To do League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, he turned down playing Gandalf in Lord of the Rings. He turned down, he said, nah, I got this better idea. I'm going to be Alan Quatermain. And it didn't work out so well. Well, guess what? It looks like they're going to do a reboot. I just read this myself, but right now CBR is saying and it's being reported from Deadline and other places as well, that League of Extraordinary Gentlemen is getting a reboot. This is what they say over there. They say a new film based on Alan Moore and Kevin O'Neill's The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, which, by the way, the books are great.
Oh, absolutely.
According to the Hollywood Reporter, 20th Century Studios, which is a division of Disney, is working on a reboot film for Hulu. Wow. Justin Haith, who is known for his work on such films as 2008's Revolutionary Road, which I kind of like, and 2018's Red Sparrow, which I didn't like all that much, will pen the screenplay. The project will be produced by Don Murphy, who I like, Susan Montford, and Erwin Stoff. Maria Murphy also produced the 2003 League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, and a lot of other stuff too. Some good, some not so good.
This is a redemption moment.
This is maybe a redemption moment. I'll tell you what. We have these discussions around here all the time about reboots. People think they sound cool when they go, oh, reboots are always bad. That is not true. Some of the best films ever made are reboots. Reboots have about as high of a success rate as any other film, which means some of them work and a lot of them don't. But I'm always okay with the reboot because to me, if you do a reboot and the reboot is bad, who cares? You got the original. Everything's good. You're still fine. And if the reboot's good, great, you have another new movie that you can like and enjoy. In the case like this, where the movie is so bad, but the source material is so good, absolutely. Not only will I say I am okay with the reboot of this, I love a reboot of this. This story, the story of the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen is so cool. It's dark. It's very adult. There's a lot of very different cool things you can do with it. It plays with some, I mean, it's a collection of great iconic characters of fiction kind of brought together. I mean, I just think the premise for it is so great. And I believe that's why Sean Connery went, you know what, I'll take my chances with my League of Extraordinary Gentlemen project because the potential is so great. So I will tell you this right now, I'm on record. I love this. I don't care who they get to make it. It cannot be as bad as the last one. It cannot be as bad as the last one. So I think this sounds great. Chris, now we're joking about it, but did you watch the original League of Extraordinary Gentlemen?
I did watch the original one.
So what are your thoughts on that? What do you think about the reboot?
Oh man,
again?
what a delightful trash heap. It's so bad.
Delightful trash
It's
heap.
so bad, but it's still kind of fun to watch though, because it's that bad. So I am excited they're doing this. On one hand, though, right, we can get it to be a bit more comic accurate, maybe, for those of us who have issues with that, and we like to have it much more true to the source material.
Right.
On the other hand, comic book accuracy means that the Invisible Man is assaulting nuns.
Yes.
So there's a lot of dark stuff. It's Alan Moore.
Yeah.
You know, so there's a lot of dark stuff in here, and that's what I'm interested in seeing and how they're juggling some of those dark elements, if those are going to come to fruition in this adaptation. Could be interesting. Hopefully we don't do anything too upsetting, though. Leave the nuns alone. What have they done?
I mean, I don't know if this means anything at all, but 20th Century Fox is doing, which of course owned by Disney. They did not say this is going to Disney Plus. They said this is going to Hulu. So I don't know if that gives us, I mean, it may mean nothing at all. Or do you think maybe that gives us a little bit of insight as to family friendly or dark, which way they might be leaning? Like, because to me, it kind of suggests that maybe they're looking at leaning a little more dark. What do you think?
I think so. And I think that is the way to go, and give it more of a Daredevil treatment, a Jessica Jones treatment, something like that, so that we can explore some of those darker elements, because this isn't a family friendly story. And I think trying to shoehorn it into something to make action figures for like 8-year-olds, right? No, we want to make action figures for Rob. We want hot toys of this. We want this to be fun, dark, and have some twists and turns that are a little upsetting, I think, too, because I think that's where a lot of the fun in this comic book franchise comes from, is that it's taking characters that we know and love and really, really explore some of the darkness within them. So I think doing something more mature on Hulu is the way to go. Okay,
so I'm not going to stick to this, and this isn't a big deal. You guys know me. I am not a X actor in X role. Like, who should play this?
Yeah.
Well, my answer is always the same. Any actor that's a good actor. But just for fun, I will throw out a name here, because the most intriguing one to me is not going to be the Invisible Man or Dr. Jekyll or whatever. To me, the most intriguing one is going to, who do you get to play Quartermain? I'm going to throw out a name.
Okay.
Timothy Dalton. Now, it's not because, I know what some of you are thinking. It's like, oh, because Connery was a Bond and Dalton was a Bond. No. It's actually completely based on his work in, why am I forgetting the name of the DC show right now? With with Robot. It's
Doom Patrol.
Thank you. It's actually because of his work on Doom Patrol. I could totally like him with that voice. Listen, Timothy Dalton's got an awesome voice.
He has a great voice.
He's got that Quartermain scruff. He still has the physicality to do stuff like that. I'm just saying, look, it doesn't need to be Timothy Dalton. I'm just saying if it was Timothy Dalton, I think it would be kind of cool. Anyway, guys, question is for you. Did you ever even see the original League of Extraordinary Gentlemen? If not, why have you forsaken it so much? Get a couple of your friends together, get a couple of adult beverages, sit back, watch this thing and enjoy. And then what do you think about the fact that they're going to remake it again? I love the idea because the first one was dumpster fire. Whatever you guys think, jump down to the comment section below and leave your thoughts there. All right, guys, with that out of the way, let's move into our main topics here today. And how do we select our main topics here on the John Campea Show? Well, that's really simple. You guys come up with our main topics. See, whenever you come across a big topic, issue, or story that you guys feel we need to cover as a main topic here on the show, just go anytime 24/7 to www.thejohncampeashow.com/contact. Once you guys get there, you're going to see a form. Fill it out with your topic or question. It's absolutely free. Hit submit, and then maybe, just maybe, you might see your submission featured as a main topic here on the John Campea Show. That down? Chris, what is our first main topic today?
Our first topic comes from a wonderful username, Grabthar's Hammer.
Oh, yes, I shall avenge thee.
Oh, so good. Greetings, everyone. I know John's most anticipated comic book movie now that the Batman is done is Thor: Love and Thunder. Wondering if you guys saw the new images of Jane and Valkyrie on a couple of thrones. I think it looks awesome. What do you guys think of it?
All right, thanks a lot for saying that in. Now, of course, we got our first look. Well, we got our real first look of Mighty Thor, or Thor Jane, or Lady Jane, or Mighty Jane, or all the different combinations and nicknames she's been having. When the toy art started to come out, we started to see boxes of the toys, and we saw some, and the designs are very, very accurate. Then we got our next kind of look at her in the first teaser trailer that came out. And she looked really good, but she had the mask on, caught the hammer. Then, it was about a week ago, I think, the first image came out of Thor and Mighty Jane, or whatever we want to call her, standing side by side. And we're like, she looks great in that outfit.
She is jacked.
Okay, we've said before she looks jacked. She hasn't looked jacked.
Compared to this.
Now she looks jacked. This picture came out. This was sent. Actually, somebody sent this to me on Twitter the other day, but it is making the rounds on the movie news sites. First of all, I think King Valkyrie is awesome.
Yeah.
Just end that right there. She looks as badass as hell all the time. I love her. But look at Jane. Oh my God. Look at the delts.
It's ridiculous.
Look at the size and the shape of those arms. She is a brick house. She looks awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. And I remember I was talking to a friend when I've been in Canada the last couple of days. And I was talking to a friend of mine when I got that tweet. I'm like, oh my God, look at Natalie Portman. And they're like, I don't know if I find like that kind of muscle on women attractive. I'm like, since when is physical superiority unattractive?
Seriously.
She's physically superior to everybody. I was in a restaurant at the time. She's physically superior to everybody in this room right now. That is attractive. I don't care what anybody says. That is attractive. But she looks like, I remember, because I admit, I was cold to the idea when they said they were going to bring in Natalie Portman to play Mighty Thor, mostly because I'm just not big on the chemistry between her and Chris Hemsworth. I love the Thor movies, not so much Thor 2, but whatever. Yeah. But that's always been one of the weaker things to me. And I never thought, I don't know, can I buy her as this cosmic powerhouse? Oh, hell yeah. I'm looking at that picture. I'm like, my God, yes, sign me up. Anyway, you saw these images. Yeah. And by the way, let's not overlook King Valkyrie there either. By the way, you see this picture, which, by the way, forget how physically imposing both of them are. Just bring that up again, Jonathan. Just look at the set. Like, I don't know if this is a council or if these are thrones, if that's like the king of Asgard and the protector of Asgard. I don't know. I don't know what's going on there, but just the set itself looks great. Anyway, you said this picture. What do you think about it?
I love this. I love the detail of the grapes in between here too. So this could be
I
Asgard.
never even noticed the
right?
grapes.
Isn't that great? It could be Asgard, or this could be them hanging out with Zeus for a moment if it's not just a throwaway scene at the beginning.
Basket grapes could be like
Right?
Olympia.
Dionysus could be there giving them snacks.
Okay,
That could
I'm
be
down.
nice. But they look amazing. These two women look so powerful. They also look like they're so over somebody's shit. I love the steely look from both of them here. I'm hyped for this. The costume design looks great. They look great. You know, when I would do my kickboxing classes with my buddy Travis, I usually say I want Michelle Obama arms. I want Natalie Portman arms.
Yeah.
That's the goal now.
I
That's
think-
that.
I think I want Natalie Portman arms.
Heck yeah.
I mean,
She's a beast.
that's. And by the way, one other thing, you mentioned the costumes.
Mm-hmm.
I mentioned last week that I'm not loving. I'm not really
crazy about
digging
Thor.
Thor's,
Yeah.
like the royal blues and all that kind of stuff, which is very comic accurate depending on the run you're looking at. But it just, this kind of thing, the darker colors with the silvers, the whites, like this to me is the look of a Thor movie a little bit more. But I'm sure once I see it in context, Hemsworth costume will grow on me
Yeah.
too. Anyway, Ray, you took a look at these images here. What do you think about this image we got?
I saw this in a dream the other night without even seeing this, except the grapes make it better. You know what? I went to Walmart last night and they put out the new Thor Marvel Legends. All of them, except someone had already picked out.
Bought all the
no,
Ray
just
James.
like, I think there's one to a case. And I was so sad. And I was like, should I buy the rest of these just to bring onto the show? Because I know they had the Christian Bale figure. And I was
Right.
reading it. It looks pretty cool. But I was disappointed that I couldn't get
Well, we were
Jane
at
again.
Frank and Sons too last week.
Yeah, but this would have been for retail, the most retail price you could ever do, because Walmart always sells it like a few cents lower than everywhere
Right.
else. That's like the cheapest.
But even at Frank and Sons, this huge collectibles place, you should look it up, guys. It's amazing.
Yeah.
That's where I got this delightful Deadpool here. But even they had all of the new Thor: Love and Thunder line,
Right.
And they had multiples of them.
I asked
all
three
the
stores.
Mighty Jane ones were gone.
I asked 3 places that carried, that actually had the line. I said, do you have Jane? Nope, we sold out. We'll get some more next week. So I think last night was my last chance at getting one.
Yeah, so not Thor,
Yeah.
not
It's okay, I
Valkyrie,
mean.
not Gore. It's the Lady Jane ones. Those are the ones that are flying off the shelf
People
right now.
are really excited
Yeah.
about this character.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
Well, I think it kind of goes back to what Taika Waititi was saying about it too. You don't want her just sitting around doing some
I'm a scientist with my pencil and paper again.
who's
Yeah.
just kind of every now and then staring at this guy going, oh, we want her to have agency because you have this powerhouse actress in the role.
an Oscar-winning actress.
Yeah. And I mean, honestly, I feel like she was kind of wasted on those first two
Exactly.
movies.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of people are really hyped for this kind of redemption of her character.
And by
of
the way,
seeing Jane thrive.
the scientist can be the hero.
Exactly.
If you can come up with the story for her. But
We've seen
I
it
mean,
in tons of other projects.
yeah. So listen, I kind of poo-pooed on this a little bit when they first announced it. I admit it, but I'd also be lying if I didn't tell I was getting kind of excited about it.
She's done more in these images than she has the whole Marvel MCU that she's
Yeah.
in.
Yeah.
No, I mean, it looks like she's doing more, and I'm happy for it.
No, listen. When were Jane's action figures flying off the shelf before? Never. This movie hasn't even come out. From a couple of still images, this is a more popular character now in the MCU than she was through 2 other movies. In the movies.
Yeah.
Like now it's just pictures,
Yep.
which is awesome. All right, anyway, guys, question is for you. What do you think about this new image that came out? I think it is absolutely badass. It might be my favorite image that they put out so far. And where are your expectations right now for Thor: Love and Thunder? Whatever you guys are thinking, jump down to the comment section below and leave your thoughts there. All right, guys. With that down, let's move on to main topic number 2. Chris, what is our second main topic today?
This is from Aaron.
Hey, Aaron.
Hey, wrong.
Oh, thank you. That's wonderful. I had totally forgotten about this new Netflix movie called Spiderhead until I saw it on Twitter today. I knew Chris Hemsworth was in it, but I don't remember hearing that Miles Teller was in it. This is kind of his year with this and Top Gun 2 coming out. Anyway, did you see the trailer and are you looking forward to it? Thanks.
I do remember when we first talked about this. Oh, there's this movie Spiderhead going into production
Yep.
and blah, blah, blah. Going to be a Netflix film, whatever. It was interesting because Chris Hemsworth was in it. And it was interesting because Miles Teller was going to be in it. Of course, Miles Teller, who's got Top Gun Maverick coming out, and he's really good in Top Gun Maverick.
And
Him
he's in The
playing off
Offer.
Tom Cruise is really good. Guys, I cannot wait for you to see Top Gun Maverick. It's so fun. Anyway, That being said, so I totally forgot about the film though until the trailer dropped. And I watched the trailer. Okay, first of all, if I had read this script, I never would have pictured Chris Hemsworth being cast in it. And I'll be honest with you, I don't know if I'm buying him in the role quite yet.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if I'm buying him. And remember, we're just talking about a short trailer. I could totally change my tune once I see the movie, but I don't know if I'm buying him as the wacky mad scientist guy. But he's a great performer, and I'm sure he'll sell me on it. Miles Teller's role in there, Journey Smollett in there. I mean, that all looks good too, but the concept of it just sounds wacky. This is the concept of the movie. This comes to us from the folks over at CBR. Right the following. The clip, or the trailer, sees action star Chris Hemsworth, known for playing more physically demanding roles, turn mad scientist as the head of an experiment conducted at the Spiderhead Penitentiary, where Miles Teller and Journey Smollett are playing Jeff and Rachel, respectively, are being kept. The two prisoners volunteer to take emotion-altering drugs in order to shorten their sentences, leading them to grapple with their pasts. And that comes to us again from the folks at CBR. And I don't even know if that's a very good description, because you watch this trailer and it's all kinds of bonkers. And the idea is, so Hemsworth seems to be playing this guy. He wants to know, hey, if we can instantly affect people's emotions, how does that dictate their behavior? And it expresses itself in a lot of different ways. But one of the funniest parts of the trailer, though, he's got, I don't know if it's Journey Smollett and Miles, so it's Miles Teller and a female character. He goes, okay, let's insert drug K05 now. And as soon as they do, the two people jump on each other and start going at it. Sexually, I mean, I don't mean they're fighting. Don't want anybody to think there's violence. Good old-fashioned sex going on.
Mom and dad wrestling.
Mom and dad wrestling. It's mom and dad wrestling.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is. I got to tell you, by the end of this trailer, I was like, okay, this looks kind of bonkers. But where I really got interested in it, what I did not know from before, or if I did know, I forgot, Wernick and Reese, the writers of Deadpool and Deadpool 2, wrote this. And speaking of Miles Teller and Top Gun Maverick, the director of Top Gun Maverick is directing it. You got that director with those writers, with this cast and that premise. This is going to be one of those few Netflix films I'm going to say, I'm actually really kind of looking forward to this. Chris, you had a chance to check out the trailer for it. What do you think, and where's your expectation level? Oh,
man, this looks great. This has really big Ex Machina vibes to me.
Oh, it does. That's, you know what? I had that itch in my brain. I was, right? What does this remind me of? That's exactly what it was.
And I think that's some of the disconnect with Chris Hemsworth right now is this is an Oscar Isaac role. But I'm excited for him to prove me wrong. And I really think that last line of his of the little... pretty people always get a little more leeway. I've experienced that myself. I think those kinds of moments where Chris Hemsworth acknowledges what a good-looking guy he is, when he has self-deprecating humor, he really shines in those moments throughout film.
Look, I don't care what anybody says. I loved him in Paul Feig's Ghostbusters.
He's great in Ghostbusters.
I thought he was great in that. I don't care what anybody says. Go fuck yourselves. I thought he was great in that.
He is perfect as a himbo.
The movie wasn't great, but I loved him.
But he's great in it. He shines in it. I think this looks really, really fun. And one of the things I think it has in its favor is that this is a really fun concept that doesn't have a lot of special effects that really go into it, right? It can use a Netflix budget. Most of the money's going to the stars here, let's be honest.
Oh, absolutely.
And we've got a few little techie little things, right? They've got their little packs on them and stuff. But for the most part, this looks like a low-budget film. It's shot in a few locations. It's mostly self-contained. It looks like it takes place over just maybe a week from what we're seeing in the trailer. I'm basing this off of just a teaser, you guys. But I think that this is the kind of film Netflix should make, right? Big budget blockbusters don't always shine on Netflix. Because I want to see something too like a Red Notice kind of thing, right? I want to see that on a big screen with that big blockbuster budget too that goes with it, and maybe a little bit of better writing.
Maybe, and a better movie. Yeah,
maybe just slightly better. But I also really, really am excited about the director and Miles pairing up again, too, because as you know, Top Gun's not my kind of movie, but I know that it's an excellent film. I objectively can see it's well acted, it's well done. And the performance that he gets out of Miles Teller is really, really solid. So I'm excited to see something where we're really diving into human emotions, going just all ends of the spectrum, being done with these two working together again.
Ray, I heard you listening to this trailer when you came in. What did you think of the trailer?
I didn't think nothing. I just saw like Xbox 360 controllers in people's backs, and then I think Chris Hemsworth, he's becoming like the Netflix golden boy, huh?
He really, yeah, he's kind of their go-to guy.
Nothing against Chris Hemsworth. I mean, if people are offering you money, it doesn't matter what platform's on, you know, and you want to do it. I think Michael Bay's becoming the director of Netflix too, right? I mean, it seems like they're getting a lot of offers from that side of town.
With all the money they're losing, I don't know how much longer that's going to last, though. But that's another topic altogether.
I mean, what was his last Netflix movie? Was it the
Extraction?
Extraction.
Yeah.
You didn't like that one, did you?
I didn't. I thought it was okay. I know a lot of people liked it. Like, I thought, for instance, there's a car chase in that movie that is great, like top-notch great. Honestly, I thought the characters were dull and one-dimensional. I thought everything was completely predictable. And I found, like, I especially get frustrated with movies when I get angry at all the decisions all the characters make all the time. It's like, why would you do that?
Yeah.
That makes no sense that that guy would do that right here. And I just screamed that a lot at the TV. But Hemsworth was fine. I mean, Hemsworth did what he could with the material.
You know, he had that big release in theaters a long time ago that wasn't Thor. Was it Black Hat?
Well, there was Black Hat, there was Rush, but Black Hat was one of them.
Was that the most recent one, I think? Or
no, Black Hat was a number of years ago.
Maybe it's just you know, I'll watch it. I mean, it's on Netflix. I mean, if it's open at your house.
I mean, it'll be open at my house. I mean, just the fact that the Deadpool guys wrote it, and I love them.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, the guys who wrote Deadpool 1 and Deadpool 2 wrote it. So that with the Top Gun director, sign me up. Anyway, guys, question is for you. What do you think about this trailer for Spiderhead? Honestly, a lot better than I thought it was going to be. Whatever you guys thought, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. Now, maybe you're thinking to yourself, I'd love to watch Spiderhead, but I live in a country where Netflix isn't going to show it. Well, that's why you could use one of the sponsors of today's video, the great folks over at Expressvpn. Guys, we want to take a minute and thank the sponsor of this video, Expressvpn. Now, you guys have all already heard about Expressvpn. I've talked about it a number of times in my videos. It's the best way to protect your privacy online and to give you that security online that we all need. And there's another practical reason why viewers of this show love using ExpressVPN. Take Netflix, for example. You see, thousands of shows on Netflix are only available outside of the US, so you need to change your country if you want to access them, and ExpressVPN lets you do just that. Because what the ExpressVPN app does is it encrypts your data and reroutes it through server locations of your choice. This not only protects your data, but it also lets you control which country you want Netflix to think that you're in. ExpressVPN lets you choose from over 90 different countries, so every time you run out of stuff to watch, you can just fire up the app on your laptop or smart TV, switch your country, and hit connect. And once you refresh your page, you'll get a brand new selection of shows. It's just that simple. And those reasons and many more is why ExpressVPN is the #1 rated VPN provider by publishers like TechRadar and The Verge. So guys, visit expressvpn.com/Campea right now and get 3 extra months of their service for free. That's expressvpn.com/Campea. Go to expressvpn.com/Campea to learn more. And a big thank you to the folks at Expressvpn for sponsoring this episode of the John Campea Show. Remember, guys, when you support the sponsors of the show, you're supporting our show. So make sure you check out for their links and the promo codes and everything down in the description of this video. All right, with that down, let's move on to main topic number 2. Chris, what is our third main topic today?
No worries. This is from Aaron B. Hey, John and crew. With the Depp versus Heard trial escalating, new reports claim that Heard herself testified that her part in Aquaman 2 was reduced, including a lot of action sequences cut. Is this a result of the recent events like the petition or all the negative PR she's been getting? Or do you think this was always intended? Thoughts? And bring on the filthy.
There are a few things that I dislike more than talking about the Johnny Depp Amber Heard situation. Genital herpes, maybe. That's one I like talking about less.
Why did we cut to the camera on me for that?
Why? Teenage acne. I don't know. There's just
it automatically did it. I mean,
there's a number of things.
That's tough, guys.
Very few things I like talking about less than that. But this is a situation because I don't like talking about the TMZ stuff, except when it comes to directly impacting the movies we do or do not see and things like that. And this is one of those situations where it's not, because here we have a Hollywood actress who's saying that a studio cut a bunch of her out of a movie. Well, okay, so this is directly impactful. This whole Johnny Depp Amber Heard situation, and by the way, I get so much, I've never gotten one positive email about this. I take so much shit from Amber Heard fans and Johnny Depp fans. It's crazy, because I'm just basically, I don't care who wins this. They're both a piece of work. I mean, on the one hand, you got Johnny Depp, who one court has already affirmed is a wife beater. And then you got on the other hand, Amber Heard, who's turning out is quite a piece of work herself. So, I mean, I don't care. I really don't care. That being said, Amber Heard in this whole thing, you know, one of the sympathy cards Johnny Depp has been trying to play to the public is, oh, woe is me, I've lost out on a lot of work. I'm sure that has nothing to do with his habitual drug and alcohol abuse and not showing up for promotional engagements. I'm sure that has nothing to do with it at all, but still he's playing the woe is me card. So Amber Heard apparently has seen that, and she decided, I'm going to play the woe is me card. When she started saying that, oh, now Johnny Depp lying and saying that he wasn't an abuser is costing me too, trying to play some kind of sympathy card. This is what she said. All right, so this comes to us from the folks over Variety. It says this: Heard said that she earned twice as much for Aquaman 2, the third film in her contract, but also said that her role in the film was very pared down version. I was given a script and then given new versions of the script that had taken away scenes that had action in it that depicted my character and another character without giving any spoilers away. Two characters fighting with one another, and they basically took a bunch of my role out. They basically took out a bunch of my role, Heard said. They just removed a bunch out. Okay. There are two things I need to say here. Number one is, I have been directly told that that's just not true. I don't run around and saying, I'm not going to say who it was that told me, don't run. I'm not making this a headline story, but I'm just saying I've been directly told that that's not true. But the second thing is this: does Amber Heard know how movies are made? I'm just wondering. I mean, she works in this business, so you would think she does. But does she understand how movies are made? Because I'm going to tell you right now, a movie studio, if they don't want you in their movie, ask Terrence Howard what happens. They just take you out of the movie. And then they go out and get Don Cheadle and they put them in the movie. Now, Don Cheadle as Mara, whatever.
I'd love it.
He's that good. I believe Don Cheadle could pull it off.
Red wig and that spandex suit.
I'm telling you, sign me up. So, but here's the thing too. The filmmakers write the movie that they think is the best version of their movie, and you make the best version of the movie to give you success. You think they're going to go, let's make the movie worse. Like there's stuff in here that we had put in there because we think this makes the movie better. Let's make it worse. So just so we can reduce the screen time of one of the actresses in it. If they don't want you in it, they Terrence Howard you and they take you out. Right or wrong, I'm not saying that's right or wrong. I'm not saying that's fair or unfair. I'm just saying that's what a studio does. They don't leave you in their movie. They don't just leave you in there. Many times, almost every movie we find out about scenes that get cut and things that aren't there anymore. It's just, there is just no conceivable way that James Wan is going to go, oh man, I worked so hard on this. I wrote this part. I love this part. We worked so hard around that part. But I don't think I want to take Amber Heard out of the movie. I think I want to reduce her role a bit. Let's just take that scene out.
I'm just going to be a little shitty to her.
Yeah, just even though it makes my movie worse, let's just do that. That's not how real life works. That's not how real life works. Again, if they didn't want her in it, they would have just taken her out. And so and how many times have we heard in behind the scenes features and in interviews and stuff like that? Well, in one version we had this was happening, but that got cut out of the film. That happens all the time. And by the way, we were just at CinemaCon and they showed us our first preview of Aquaman 2. Guess who they featured pretty prominently in the promo for Aquaman 2? Amber Heard. So if they're trying to, so here's the thing. I don't know if Amber understands that if they were trying to get rid of her and hide her, number one, they wouldn't leave her in the film. And number two, they wouldn't use her to promo it so prominently at CinemaCon. So I don't know, like, again, one of the reasons I get, and I get it, all Amber Heard fans are mad at me and all Johnny Depp fans are mad at me. Fuck yourselves. I don't care. Both of these people seem so detached from reality. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy to me. And the amount of self-serving rhetoric, no. My Apple Watch is, even my Apple Watch is a damn Amber Heard fan. So, and by the way, just to be clear here, I think Johnny Depp is a terrific performer and actor. I've been entertained by his movies a lot. I actually think Amber Heard is better than a lot of people give her. I enjoy her. I especially loved her in this Nick Cage film she did where they were on the run from the devil in this car. It was like, anyway, I can't even remember the name of it, but I liked her a lot in that. And I liked her as Mara. I did. I'm just saying the amount of detached delirium I'm hearing from these people is just crazy. And this poor me kind of thing is like, whatever. So what are we getting here? We are hearing that she's saying she's not going to be in the movie as much as she was. I think she is going to, what has been made clear to me, she's in as much as the movie as they wanted her to be in the movie, as much as any character. And I don't know where this pity me thing is coming from. Anyway, you hear this, you're an actress, you have performed in productions, stuff like that. You hear this, what's your take on it?
Well, I mean, first of all, I am not going to believe that this is a monetary hit for Amber Heard. Because
they paid her twice as much, she said.
Exactly. She's not a day player. So when I'm on a film, y'all, or I do TV, I'm getting paid a day rate. So if my scenes get cut, that does affect how much money I'm being paid, right? If I'm not shooting on a day, I don't get paid for it. Amber Heard is not having these daily rates. She has a manager and agent who have negotiated a lump sum for her on this film. So she's making money regardless of how much she's in there. And like you were saying, she's featured in the promo that we saw at CinemaCon.
Prominently.
Which, I mean, we all talked about too, just off camera of, that's interesting. Okay, that's interesting that she's so highly featured.
For those of you who saw our CinemaCon coverage, like we came out of that and we were all like, I'm kind of, like, take all the Johnny Depp, Amber Heard drama out of it. I was surprised how much they featured her in the promo stuff for Aquaman 2. It wasn't like a 5-minute long thing. It was a short thing, but still, they featured her pretty prominently, and we were all kind of surprised by that.
It was surprised just because of what's all going on right now, and especially how they're handling some other people and everything, right? So this idea, though, of she's being punished and having her scenes cut out is ridiculous. No one wants to make a bad movie. No one ever wants to make a bad movie. No one goes out to do that. Everyone who made Morbius was trying their best, okay? So if scenes are cut, that's because budgets change, time changes. You know, you have to make adjustments. Maybe the scenes felt superfluous when they were testing them out or doing their rewrites. Maybe they just had way too many effects, or it was her fighting a character that wasn't particularly necessary. We're never going to know. But this happens in every single film. Or not Johnny Depp, he's had scenes cut before, of course. But, you know, Robert Downey Jr. had scenes cut as Iron Man, who's one of the most prominent Avengers. That's just how movie making works. And to go in and use this as a bargaining chip just feels very, very gross and petty, like this entire process that I just do not want to be a part of.
And by the way, this movie is not called Aquaman and Mara.
Exactly.
Unlike, say, Ant-Man and the Wasp, this is Aquaman 2. She is a secondary character, a very good secondary character. Don't get me wrong, totally cool. But I mean, yeah, this is just, I don't buy any of this. No. And so it is what it is. Anyway, guys.
Wait, hold on. What? Rob just messaged me and he said,
I don't care.
I love her hair in Aquaman. And he said,
he's totally
I love
redheads.
He didn't text you.
Yeah,
Rob's totally, as long as she's got red hair, again, you put it on Don Cheadle. I mean, Rob will be down. Rob will get that hot toy figure, that 1/6 hot toy figure. So anyway, guys, question is for you. What do you think of all this? Whatever your thoughts are, frankly, I don't care. I will be perfectly fine if I never hear the names Johnny Depp or Amber Heard ever again at this point. You know what's funny, too? Here's the other thing. I just got to get this out. Coming out and saying shit like this now, when, and I find it to be particularly, it lacks a little bit of class, because Warner Brothers this whole time is pretty, James Wan, Zack Snyder, and Warner Brothers have all had her back this whole time. So now to come out and to kind of throw Warner and everybody who's kind of supported you, like James Wan and Warner Brothers, and kind of throw them under the bus for what? A couple of, this isn't going to sway any jury. This is about public opinion. Just for some public opinion things.
Also, I was telling the chat, how come for these cases we don't get Judge Judy on them? I mean, it would have been over.
She's not a real
be wasting
judge.
any more time in court. It would have been over in like a day.
15-minute case. 15-minute case. She yells at one of them and then makes a decision and it's done. Judge Judy knows the truth. All right, guys, questions for you. What do you think about this whole thing? Whatever your thoughts are, jump down to the comment section below and leave your thoughts there. All right, guys. With that down, let's move on to main topic number 4. Chris, what is our 4th main topic today?
This comes from Vanish. Well, I guess we won't be getting Sebastian Stan as young Luke Skywalker anytime soon. Variety just did a big Star Wars cover story, and the cover is beautiful. And in it, they said that the flopping of Solo, a Star Wars story, made them decide not to recast younger versions of old characters anymore. I think that's a shame because there could be some great storytelling with younger Luke and another Solo. What do you think?
All right, thanks a lot for writing this in. Listen, the one Star Wars project that they had ever done, and you guys know me, I'm a big Star Wars guy, and I am fully, proudly, even a Disney era Star Wars fan. Although Disney era Star Wars, they've made some stuff I'm not so thrilled with. Still, overall, love Rogue One, love The Force Awakens. Quite liked Solo, as a matter of fact. I thought
fun.
Solo was really good. But here's the thing: when they announced Solo, that was the one for me that I said almost from day one. I was like, wait a minute, why are you making this? Why are you making a Han Solo movie without Harrison Ford when we just had we literally just watched Harrison Ford on screen 2 weeks ago in The Force Awakens, right? It's like, this does not seem like a wise move right now. It doesn't seem like now. They went out and got this kid, Alden Ehrenreich. And I thought Alden did great. I really do. I thought he did wonderful. I thought, Ron Howard came in and delivered a fun space adventure kind of film. I thought it was good. I enjoyed it quite a bit, but let's call a spade a spade. It became the only Star Wars film ever in history to flop. Now that had something to do with its budget, because with Lord Miller, who went in and started to make a Solo movie that we never agreed to make, because they had agreed with Lucasfilm to make a totally different kind of movie. They snuck behind their backs, started to make another kind of movie. They got canned from it. They brought in Ron Howard, whatever. But because of all that drama, that budget became one of the most expensive films in cinematic history at $300 million. So they needed to make somewhere in the $700 to $800 million range just to break even on that puppy. And spoiler, they didn't. They lost money on a Star Wars film. Never been done before. Now, since that happened, there's been a lot of people who appreciate the film. And what was that hashtag movement, like make Solo 2 happen or something like that? There was a big hashtag movement on that. And I've told people they're never going to do a Solo 2. I'd be down for it. I totally would. But I told people they're never going to do it. And certainly they didn't. And then, like the person who wrote in said, a lot of people started thinking Sebastian Stan is going to play a young Luke Skywalker. I'm like, why? Because he looks like him. Okay, that's always a good reason to, anyway. But it kind of sounds now like that's never going to happen. This comes to us from the good folks over at Screen Rant, wrote the following. In an expansive Star Wars profile with Vanity Fair, Lucasfilm president Kathleen Kennedy opened up about the young Han Solo recasting for the 2018 anthology movie centered on the character. When asked about the possibility of other iconic characters getting the same treatment, getting a younger actor to come in and play them as a younger version, Kennedy confirmed that the Star Wars franchise won't be recasting any other characters in the same vein, with the studio having learned their lesson after Solo's failure. See what Kennedy said below. And Kathleen Kennedy said the following. There should be moments along the way when you learn things. Now it does seem so abundantly clear that we can't do that. We can't go in and just recast old classic characters. Now, I still completely believe that that's exactly what they should have done with Carrie Fisher's Princess Leia in the final movie, because the movie had her in the script. They needed her. Instead, they compromised the movie by taking old unused footage of Carrie Fisher from other movies and try to shoehorn it in. And they did a complete disservice to Carrie Fisher by doing it. They did a complete disservice to the movie as a whole by doing it. And that is the one time that I think they should have recast to carry out and carry the ball across the finish line, since Carrie wasn't here to do it herself. That being said, I have to say I agree with Lucasfilm on this, that look, I applaud the attempt, but clearly this did not work. Now, it's funny that we're saying that on practically the eve of Obi-Wan coming out, which in and of itself was a recasting of a classic character in many different ways. But still, I am really not all that interested. While Luke Skywalker is to this day, I know this sounds very boringly vanilla of me, Luke Skywalker to this day is my all-time favorite Star Wars character. I'm not interested in a young Luke series. I'm really not. If I want those stories, I'll read them in a book. Don't get me wrong. What they did at the end of Mandalorian season 2, big fan service, big pop, great moment. I even kind of dug what they did with them in the Book of Boba Fett, the sort of Book of Boba Fett, the chapter of Boba Fett. Yes, I even like what they did there. But that again, that wasn't recasting the role. I'm not interested in seeing a young Yoda thing, although we're probably going to see a young Yoda in some of the High Republic era stuff. I'm not interested in seeing a young R2-D2 when he was just a little toaster. I'm not interested in a young Jabba the Hutt. I'm not interested in that. I want stories to move forward, not backwards. So I, for one, think this is great news. That's my take on it. Anyway, Chris, you hear them, Lucasfilm saying, listen, we learned our lesson from Solo. People were not, even though the movie turned out pretty good, people were not interested in it. They didn't go out to see it. They didn't support it. We've learned our lesson. Good move, bad move on their part. What do you think?
It's an understandable move. I hope that there's a loophole of we get a Donald Glover series of him as Lando because he was great.
Well, they were talking about doing that. I think I'm taking from this that project has quietly died. Like from this comment, she's saying, I don't think we're going to see a young Lando thing now.
Hope springs eternal.
Because I agree with you. He was really good in that.
He was so good. He was so good, so charismatic. I loved him in it. I think this is fine though. And something we've talked about on this show before as well is I'm really, to an extent, over this same group of folks being used over and over again. I want story. It's a whole galaxy that's far, far away. I want to meet new people. I want new adventures. I want new characters. And this
sounds like a speech you'd give Logan. So sorry. Oh, sorry, Logan. Sorry.
No, I love you. I don't want to meet new people. Have you tried dating in Los Angeles? Ew.
Oh, rat nest.
Disgusting. It's so horrible. I want smothering monogamy. That's all I want. So
hello, meet herpes.
So I really do want other characters though, and I want to have other people in this universe because I don't need to keep having these moments in between everything. Like you were saying, there are books I can read, there are comics, there are novels, there's a whole backlog of stuff if I want to go revisit these character stories. And while I am really excited about Obi-Wan and filling in that gap, it's mostly because of Ewan McGregor. I love him so much. I would much rather have fresh new IP within the Star Wars ideology. It'd be fun.
I mean, I love what you're saying because for a long time, I give this analogy. You know, if you live in a big town or a small town, by seeing how long it takes you to bump into somebody you know when you walk out the door. If you walk out your front door and you're no more than 3 steps out your door and you're bumping into 3 people you know, you're in a real small town. If you can walk around like in LA for a couple of hours before running into anybody you know you're in a big town. Star Wars for the last number of years, as much as I like the Disney era too, but particularly under the Disney era, seems like every time I open the door to step into the Star Wars universe, I'm bumping into 8 people I already know. Like, it just seems like for a long time, they've continued to shrink and shrink and shrink and shrink this universe. Like how many, I know it's a joke now, but how many times are we going to go back to Tatooine?
Oh, that's what I was going to say. How about a baby Tatooine?
We need Greedo's story.
Baby Tatooine. It only had a couple.
When it had a little bit of water on
before it became this desolate waste. I mean that, I don't know, Ray, do you want to see more stories about younger characters we know, or what do you think?
I'm very... Only a baby Darth Maul would be fun for me. But other than that, I'm down with new characters.
Maul, baby, he'll cut his arms for you.
That's where I think things get a little thing, because when they do new stuff, it kind of doesn't match with what we've seen. Like some of the technology, I think, looks better, obviously, than what was supposed to be in the future. You know, that's the thing that always got to me about Star Wars. How the ships, I think in Phantom Menace, look way more advanced than the ships in
sometimes,
you know, things like that, they start getting all mixed up. So, but you know what, it's sci-fi, it's fantasy, come on. I can't really complain about any of that stuff. That's nitpicking at that point. But yeah, I would like to see new characters, is what I'm saying.
All right, guys, question for you is, what do you think about this new position coming from Lucasfilm that we're not going to recast classic characters anymore to tell younger stories about them? We learned our lesson with Solo. Is that maybe a short-sighted point of view, or is it a thank God you learned that lesson point of view? Whatever you guys think, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. All right, guys. Hey, before we go into the final topic here, we're going to open up the super chats now. So if you guys have been sitting on a thought, comment, or opinion or question, or whatever, you can start firing those in now. We'll get to them once we get to the end of the main topics. But for now, let's get into our fifth and final main topic today. Chris, what is our fifth and final main topic today?
This one comes from Charlie. Hey, crew. So Variety just said that John Watts is now directing an untitled Star Wars series, which now begs the question, was this the project that made John Watts walk away from the eagerly anticipated Fantastic Four movie like you predicted, John? Can't wait to hear everyone's thoughts. Thanks.
All right. Thanks for writing that in, Charlie. So.
Ooh, it's going to be a smug moment.
Well, look. I just, when the announcement came out that John Watts, who had for 2 years been connected as the guy who's going to direct Fantastic Four, by the way, did such a great job with the Spider-Man movie.
So
did
good.
a wonderful, under a high pressure situation, came in, knocked it out of the park. And that's fine. It's fine that he's not going to do, for whatever his reasons are, it's fine that he's not going to do Fantastic Four. There are many other projects for him, many other great directors who can step in and do Fantastic Four. But when they said, oh, he just needs a break, I said, who is naive enough to believe that? Mm-hmm. And I got criticized online saying, John, you don't understand the pressures of big Hollywood movie making, and it's totally intensive making a movie. No, I do. I get that. But he knows that already. He's not new to this business. He said there's no. If he really needed a break from big projects or whatever, he wouldn't be doing another movie right now with two of the most biggest movie icons in the world, with George Clooney and Brad Pitt and all that kind of stuff. I said, there's something else going on here. I said, I don't know if it's Kevin Feige saying, hey, I kind of want to go in a different direction of this. Can I give you another Marvel project? Rob had the theory about, you know what, I bet you he's going to be doing the Kevin Feige Star Wars movie. And I thought that might be Bryce Dallas Howard. So it wasn't Kevin Feige's Star Wars movie, but it's Star Wars.
Yeah.
All right, this comes to us from the good folks over, I believe, at Variety, and they write the following. Rumors first circulated in February that Tom Holland's Spider-Man director John Watts was circling a Star Wars television series at Disney+, but a new report from Vanity Fair now confirms the show. The show takes place during the post-Return of the Jedi reconstruction that follows the fall of the Empire, the same as the Mandalorian timeline, but its plot remains a secret. It's created and executive produced by director John Watts and writer Christopher Ford, who made the Spider-Man Homecoming for Marvel. Inside Lucasfilm, the show is being described as a galactic version of a classic Amblin coming-of-age adventure films of the 1980s. That comes to us from Variety. And there was also some details in the report saying they're looking for a cast of like 11 and 12-year-olds to get to
Younglings.
that. A little bit, like you cross a little bit of Goonies with Stand By Me in the Star Wars post-Empire era.
Stranger Things.
Oh my
Are some
God.
younglings going to find a dead body?
Yeah, maybe they find a dead
Sweet.
stormtrooper, poke it with a stick.
Oh,
I
great.
mean, I don't know, but I think this sounds charming. Mm-hmm. And again, I'm just going to throw it there one more time. What's that?
No, I'm just saying, until you realize he's doing a Vespa gang series.
It's their origin
The
story.
The origin story of the Vespa gang on Tatooine, on the sands of Tatooine. So again, if he, I'm so tired, so sleepy, I need a break. Oh, I'm gonna make a movie. I'm gonna make a movie with Brad Pitt and George Clooney. Oh, and I'm gonna create and executive produce and showrun brand new Star Wars film and stuff like that. Yeah, guys, when you hear, oh, I just needed a break, you knew you were doing this movie for 2 years. So that clearly wasn't the case. Okay, all that nonsense aside, love it. Love it. Look, I just want good storytellers telling good stories, right? John Watts has proved he can take incredible expectations. He can take a brand new iteration of things, which is what he did with Tom Holland as Spider-Man. He took a brand new stab at something that was going to be totally new to the audience. He can take all of that and he can craft not just a lot of fun, he can craft a legitimately good story. And that's one of the things about the Spider-Man movies is, look, any idiot can sit down and go, big guy punches other guy in the face and he flies through a wall. Any 5-year-old can write that. Can you do that within the
script and confidence?
Sorry, I signed the NDA. But can you do that within the context of a solid story with populated by characters you make us care about and whatever? And if he can bring that sensibility to the Star Wars universe, I think it's great. I think it's beyond great. And I still kind of believe that maybe Bryce Dallas Howard's going to be the one directing Kevin Feige's Star Wars movie. But whatever happens with that, I hear this. I love the idea of this Amblin thing. I know there's going to be a lot of people out there. I want dark and adult. Well, you go watch Pornhub. Yeah. But yes, there's plenty of dark and adult coming. Don't worry about it. We got the Acolyte coming. Don't worry. We got dark and adult coming. Hang in there. The idea of an 80s style Amblin film like that set in the Star Wars movie, a coming of age thing in the Star, because that's the thing you were saying earlier, right? Well, you pointed out, you nailed it right on the head when you said, this is a huge galaxy with so many stories to tell. I don't want the same kind of story every time. I don't want the lone gunman or the rogue Jedi story every single time. Tell me a different kind of story in that context. So, and in the hands of a guy like John Watts, sign me up. I think this sounds great. I'm very excited about it. What do you think about this?
I love this. I think this is wonderful because what is the Spider-Man trilogy if not a coming-of-age story that just happens to have a supernatural person or a superpowered person in there, excuse me. Right. And so it's just taking very, very relatable concepts and giving them extraordinary circumstances, which is how the best movies are told, right? Very human stories, extraordinary circumstances. And Star Wars, at the end of the day, they are very human stories, despite having aliens and being in a galaxy far, far away. It's about people trying to rise up against tyranny. It's about people trying to be better than their perceived circumstances and owning their destiny and everything, right? So I'm really, really excited to see him.
You're pitching the hell out of this. I'm loving this.
Thank
Please
you.
continue. This is great.
Disney, hire me. So this I think is a lot of potential. And I love the idea of doing different kind of genres within Star Wars. It's one of the things that makes Mandalorian so great, right? Is that it's a Western that happens to be in the Star Wars universe. So I think doing this kind of story works really, really well. And I hope that it sparks more explorations into different types of stories that can exist here.
Ray, I know you're already trying to come up with a way that this is about 4 young kids attacking a moon, but what do you think about this? Does this excite you? Does it not interest you? What do you think?
The only thing I got from it is how badly a lot of directors want to direct anything Star Wars, like over anything. I mean, he had Fantastic Four, if that was what he was assigned to, and he dropped all that. He said, "I'm gonna do the Star Wars series." So, I mean, if someone's eager to do a Star Wars project, who has, like, lately he's been killing it, I mean, I'm all for it. It only smells something good for Star Wars, I hope. I mean, there's been a lot of things that have come out where people weren't that happy. Hopefully he could maybe right the ship a little bit if the ship has gone astray for some people.
Well, you raise a really good point, though. Like, a lot of the big filmmakers and storytellers today, their number one influence is Star Wars. Like, even Feige, the king of Marvel, his real passion's Star Wars.
Yeah.
So now you got these Marvel guys that want to start taking a crack at some Star Wars stuff. So you're right about that.
It all makes sense now. Like, from when we heard that Feige was like, okay, I guess I'll get another director. You do your Star Wars thing. So
I still think he went to John Watts and said, hey, but I think it incorporated. I think he gave a call to Kathleen Kennedy and said, look, I kind of got this idea for Fantastic Four, but I need to make it up to Johnny. He really wants to do something Star Wars. You got something delicious Star Wars he can do, and maybe go. I'm making all this up. I'm totally speculating. Don't go reporting this.
So specific.
Totally speculating here, but I don't know. I think this sounds kind of exciting. Anyway, guys, question is for you. John Watts doing a Star Wars series set in the vein of an 80s style Amblin coming of age thing. I've never heard anything like that before. I think it sounds fascinating. What do you guys think about it? Whatever your thoughts are, jump down into the comment section below and leave those thoughts there. All right, guys. Before we get into our super chats here that you guys have been firing in, we're going to leave them open for another minute or two, then we're going to shut them down. So if you've got something you want to fire in, make sure you fire it in quick. But we're going to take a word from one of our sponsors today. Now, I mentioned this in the ad spot. I loved coming across Athletic Greens because I don't know, you guys know because you've eaten around me.
Yeah, and cooked for you.
And cooked for me. That's right. What do I normally do? Just leave out the vegetables. I do not eat enough vegetables, so I'm always looking for different types of supplements that gets me those nutrients and nutritions I need. So thank you to the sponsor of the John Campea Show here today, the great folks over at Athletic Greens. Hey guys, we want to take a second to thank the sponsor of this video, Athletic Greens. Now, when you get really busy, and you guys know that Ann and I are really busy, one of the first things that you sacrifice is eating healthy. And you know, I simply have never eaten enough vegetables in my diet, I admit it. So for a long time, I've been looking for a really good all-in-one supplement that helps me get those nutrients and vitamins that my body needs. And thank goodness I found Athletic Greens AG1. So what is Athletic Greens AG1? Well, with one delicious scoop of AG1, you're absorbing 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, whole food source superfoods, and probiotics to help you start your day right. And for me and Ann, it's easy. We get up in the morning, we pour a big glass of water and add 1 scoop of AG1. So many people today are taking some kind of multivitamin, and it's important to choose one with high quality ingredients that your body will actually absorb. And it's cheaper than getting all those different supplements yourself. And on top of giving you all those vitamins and nutrients, it also supports better sleep and quality of recovery and supports mental clarity and alertness. Right now, it's time to reclaim your health and arm your immune system with convenient daily nutrition. It's just 1 scoop in a cup of water every day. That's it. No need for a million different pills and supplements to look out for your health. And to make it easy, Athletic Greens is going to give you a free 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. All you have to do is visit athleticgreens.com/mailbag. Again, that's athleticgreens.com/mailbag to take ownership over your health and pick up the ultimate daily nutritional insurance. Sir, we're watching the She-Hulk trailer. Give me a second. Just give us a second. I'm telling everybody. Okay. The name of the show is She-Hulk Attorney at Law. She's on a dating app.
Let's get those to go.
Oh my God. Okay.
I love this.
All right. So before we get into the super chats, we got we got to do a breaking news thing. The She-Hulk trailer dropped. Holy shit, that was awesome. I'm not gonna lie. I know a lot of people were freaking out about She-Hulk. Ooh, I had a friend who even wrote a song on an album called She-Hulk Boy about their undying love for She-Hulk. I've never understood the love for She-Hulk. I'll tell you right up, I've never got it. I've never understood why there are people who are so big of a fans of the She-Hulk character. I personally don't find the character all that compelling. That is now my #1 most anticipated Marvel show. I've been really excited about a lot of them they got coming up. They can all go sit in the back seat. I am now most excited about She-Hulk. That looked awesome. Let me gather my thoughts here. You just watched the trailer.
Yeah.
What did you think about the She-Hulk trailer?
I love this. I think it's great. We had talked about this ages ago of hoping it was going to be a procedural law show that had Ally McBeal vibes. And that's what that is.
Totally nailed it.
That's totally what it is. I'm so excited about it. And it's just a trailer. I do think maybe the rendering is a little not as great as it could be, right, on the actual Hulk body here. But it's a trailer. I'm giving it a little bit of grace here. I think this looks fun. I think it looks witty. That line about that is the baseline for all women.
Anxiety and fear.
Yeah.
That is the baseline feeling for all women.
For existing. It's like, oh yeah, I feel that on a very cellular level. Thank you very much, Jennifer. I think this is going to be so fun. I love that we for sure are getting quite a bit of Bruce in it too. I think it's going to be a real funky self-referential show. I think it's going to be great.
I cannot believe how fun that trailer was. Like the whole thing, like even you got some great moments of Bruce there too. Cause he's like, yes, no. Like that was great. The whole thing about when she was like, she's trying to do Tinder as She-Hulk. I mean, and at the end when she's carrying the guy, I'm like, okay, come on.
So great.
That far exceeded my expectations.
Yeah.
Like by miles. That looks incredible. And I love the fact that, because I was honestly kind of, before we saw the scene with Hulk outside of the test chamber, right? I was kind of under the impression that he was going to be in one episode. And he very well may be. He might be. The trailer seems to suggest he might be in it more than just that. And by the way, someone's going to have to explain how come in Shang-Chi he's got back to human form, but now he's only in Hulk form. Yeah. Or has he mastered the transition?
Ooh.
I mean, I don't know. Are we going to see Mark Ruffalo in this movie? Or are we just going to see him as Hulk? Is he mastered going back and forth? Don't know. But I'll tell you, the humor, and I love the title, She-Hulk Attorney at Law. Oh. This is by far the best title Marvel has ever come up with. Yeah. Screw Infinity War, screw Endgame, screw Civil War. She-Hulk Attorney at Law is the best title they have ever come up with.
Harvey Birdman vibes for days.
I don't know.
Did you watch it, Ray?
Winter and Falcon and the Falcon.
Winter and the Falcon?
Winter and the Falcon.
Yeah, that's a great show.
Yeah, that's a great title.
Soldier.
Yeah.
The Winter and the Falcon.
That was a good title. I mean, you barely knew what it was about.
Did you watch the trailer?
Yeah, it looks different from what I thought it would be. I mean, this looks like a sitcom on Fox.
But that's what we were talking about. Yeah, we were saying, like, please make this like an Ally McBeal, like lawyer procedural, except she happens to be the She-Hulk.
Exactly.
It starts streaming on August 17th, so I'm starting to think maybe these TV shows are trying to compete with these summer blockbusters. You know how the summer is usually the big movies. Yeah. Maybe they're trying to like have something there too, you know, for people to watch during the summer.
Well, but Disney Plus needs to get to a place where, like, honestly, I think one of the big knocks against Disney Plus is still whereas Netflix overdoes it to a fault.
Yeah.
Disney Plus, the one big disappointment to me is that they have such a lack of premium shows. And by premium, I don't just mean Marvel and Star Wars, but they haven't really done any premium level shows other than Marvel and Star Wars. So they need to have at least one show running at a time. Yeah. I don't need Netflix where you have 5 different shows dropping every day, but just give us something where you're consistently, don't have it so we're going 4 weeks without any premium stuff going on. Exactly. So I think they're trying to get to a place where, like, December 1st to January 31st, there's always at least one, maybe even sometimes overlapping, like we're going to have with Ms. Marvel and Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
You know, John,
they need to get to that point.
I've run into this problem, though, because there's a lot of the Marvel shows. I don't know what it is. I don't have an answer. But there's some that I have skipped, like the Winter Soldier, Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I skipped like the last half of that. And I said, I'll go back to it. But I still haven't gone back to it. I mean... And that's what I'm scared about. Like, they're getting this library, but like, since the MCU does go on in the movies, I don't find myself needing to go back and watch them, which is like, is that something like you think would be bad? And
finish that.
Here's the thing. I think one of the big problems Marvel is going to face, and this is going to become a bigger issue as they get more shows and more movies, is that the brilliance of the MCU and the big reason, other than the fact that they make quality content, the big reason they've been successful is because none of the movies have required you to watch something else first. Kevin Feige's genius is that he makes sure that every single Marvel project is an entry point. That can be the first Marvel thing you watch. And because that's been the case, more and more people have been able to come on the Marvel bandwagon and all that kind of stuff. Doctor Strange 2, as much as I like the film, I don't think it's a top 10 Marvel film for me, but it's an enjoyable film. I've seen it a few times now, but it's the first Marvel project that I was like, damn, if you didn't watch WandaVision, a lot of the nuance of what's going on here and the character work and what's going on with that's going to be lost on a lot of people, that they'll never really fully be able to understand what's going on here. I mean, they'll be able to understand from an X's and O's point of view, but you don't actually get what's happening if you didn't watch that. And I've never felt that with any other Marvel project before.
Even in like Civil War or Infinity.
Yeah, like I remember like Aaron, I sat down and watched Endgame with Aaron. Hadn't seen Infinity War. And she was not lost at all. Like, that was the brilliant. She was even that. She was able to sit down. But I have a feeling that a lot of people, like with this, it's a prerequisite. I just hope that they don't get to a point where it's like, it's going to become now what do they call a gatekeeper thing? That Marvel's going to become a gatekeeper community where, oh, you want to watch the new X-Men movie, well, you're going to have to go back and watch this, this, and this, or else you'll be lost. And I think that's where Marvel will start to lose their steam. I quite frankly, I already think Marvel's losing a little bit of steam, even though they're still putting out some great stuff. Listen, back to She-Hulk.
Yeah.
This looks awesome. I don't care what I thought. I'm so pleasantly surprised.
Well, and this looks like such a fresh take on, just like what we were talking about with Star Wars, right? Of exploring within the Marvel universe, doing a different kind of genre, doing something that's different from what they've done. We've seen that with Moon Knight, right? That was a very different show. WandaVision was obviously
Very
wildly
different kind of show.
different.
Yeah.
And doing something like this that seems very, very steeped in sensational She-Hulk, where it is her being pretty self-aware that she's a comic book character, or at least addressing the audience. It's a John Burns run, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, chat. But I love that we're having that in here. This just looks so wacky. I'm into it.
All right, guys, question is for you. Did you have a chance to see the She-Hulk trailer? I agree with you. I think some of the CGI was a little touchy. That's not going to affect the overall enjoyment of the story, though.
Good story.
What do you guys think about it? Whatever your thoughts are, jump down to the comment section below and leave those thoughts there. All right. Now we're going to get into the super chats that you guys have fired in. So we've probably got them closed down already.
Yeah,
so
closed.
if you've got them in already, great. If you're not, well, we'll save them for next time. Okay. So Chris, let's get into our first super chat, and you answer the first couple because we had to watch the She-Hulk trailer. I didn't refill my drink.
No worries.
So go
okay.
ahead, take it over.
We have a whole bunch of support here coming in. Jeff Nicholas sending in a $20 super chat. Thank you so much, Jeff. That is amazing. From Ben Rodriguez. From Brian Whitney sending in another $50 super chat. Brian, you're a producer at this point. Goodness gracious. Thank you so much. Mark Bell sending in support. Marie sending in a $20 super chat. Thank you so much, Marie. That is amazing. All right. Hi, let's go up a little bit. Wee, Andy. 1 of 4. Good luck. Hi. Hi, Chris. Going to trigger you with a weekly dose of Riverdale cringe. Oh, good. This week's episode is about Veronica dealing with her new superpowers. She's a Black Widow.
Riverdale!
She's a Black Widow, immune to anything poisonous, and her body secretes deadly venom whenever she gets very emotional. Thus, she can never get laid without harming her partner. Sadly, her last non-lethal romp was her ex, Reggie. To rectify this, Betty offers her boyfriend, Archie, who has acquired complete invulnerability. Oh, what a good friend Betty is. Due to literal witchcraft from Cheryl to pork Veronica, as venom won't harm him because what are friends for? While Betty watches them smash.
All right, now wait a minute. I might have been too harsh. I might have been too harsh there.
Now we're gonna watch Riverdale.
Now we're totally bring on that filthy. Oh wow! So let me get this straight. So Betty is dating Archie.
Yes.
But if she has sex with Archie, she's going to hurt Archie.
No, so Veronica can't have sex with anyone because she's got poison secretions or something.
Right, but
so
Archie
Betty and Archie are dating.
Is invulnerable to that.
Yes, so Betty's
and
like,
she needs to get.
She's like,
some
I want my
action.
friend to get laid. Get a vibrator, Veronica. Grow up.
You know what? I might have to give Riverdale another chance. I don't. Okay, sorry. Anyway, all right.
Thanks, Andy. Thanks for keeping me updated on
That
this
is so
horrific show.
Ridiculous. So ridiculous. All right, what's next?
From Caden, Baby Toaster R2. Give it to me now.
Yeah, that's right. I just gave Kathy Kennedy an idea of
gonna be a great
Baby
property.
Toaster R2 like, growing up. By the way, my buddy, his name's Paul. He was on the original Jedi Council, the very first couple of Jedi Councils that we did. It was me, Christian, and my buddy Paul, who was a director at Lucasfilm. And when I say director, not a film director, but that was his job title. He was director of, I think, LucasArts at that time.
Oh, cool.
But he produced, that went on some of their Blu-rays and DVDs, he produced a fake mockumentary called R2-D2 Behind the Dome, which is one of those fake like MTV things about, you know, the drug abuse problems that some of the rock stars had, but it was looking at the hard home life of R2-D2 and all the troubles he had off camera.
No.
Yes, if you've seen it, if some of you guys have seen R2-D2 Behind the Dome, that was my buddy Paul that did that. Why did I just bring up Paul? What were we talking? Oh yeah, so for the R2-D2 thing. So yes, great history to R2-D2. Okay, what's next?
I love it. All right, from Ron H. When B team and C team are still in A team, you know TG's the John Campea Show is special. Great job, all. I've thoughts to John and family. Thanks for all you do and bring on the filthy.
You know what?
C team.
I've said this before. There are, like everybody else, there are things I'm good at. There are things I'm bad at. But one of my constant strengths, one of the things I think I'm particularly good at, is knowing how to pick the right people in the right combinations and then put them in a position to succeed. And I think I've always done a good job at that. And I think, you know, the team that we have here right now, I mean, the last couple of days with me gone just proves the point. Like, the John Campea Show is here without John Campea, but we've got Chris in the host chair. We got Rob in the host chair. I just think the dynamic of the team that's here is wonderful. We got Ray carrying doing the heavy lifting. Ray's back there sleeping right now.
It's the right people, man.
Heavy lifting. I mean, and again, having Jonathan here, who today I have dubbed producer Jonathan, is all the difference in the world. So thank you for noticing that, man. All right, what's next?
From A. Marcellus, I hope Kathleen Kennedy has truly learned her lesson when she says Star Wars is now about persistent storytelling. We'll see, because Boba Fett said otherwise. Give me home runs with the upcoming shows.
Here's the funny thing, and I just got to throw this out there. When the Mandalorian Boba Fett shows are working, all credit to Jon Favreau, Dave Filoni, had nothing to do with Kathleen Kennedy. As soon as one of those shows go wrong, executive produced by Jon Favreau, Dave Filoni, blah, blah, blah. Oh, how did Kathleen Kennedy screw that up? And none of it was Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni's fault. But it is, listen, I think they've always wanted to do consistent storytelling. Again, Solo was a good film. Rob and I have talked about that for years. I mean, you clearly really enjoyed it as well. I really
enjoy it.
Solo's a good film. It just was the wrong idea. It just, again, it was just bad timing. We had just seen Harrison Ford months earlier on screen as Han Solo. People don't want to turn around and go right back and see somebody else playing Han Solo right now.
And what happened to Han Solo in that movie?
Oh, the one he was in? Yeah, he just died. I mean? So what? Say, put that one on the back burner and come back and visit in maybe 6 years. Right? But no, they did that then. So they're always trying to be consistent in the storytelling. They're trying. But again, everybody believes that telling good stories is easy. If it was easy, we'd all be doing it. The reality is it's super hard. And again, to me, the problem with Kathleen Kennedy is not consistent storytelling. As she's not the storyteller. The problem with Kathleen Kennedy, which I believe is her number one job, is to match the right storytellers with the right projects and make sure she is on the same page as them. And the fact that they have had so much turnover and all that chaos, it's going to eventually hurt your bottom line. She's done some great things there. Absolutely she has, and had some big wins. But I need to see her be consistent in getting on the same page with her filmmakers, making sure everybody's got a clear shared vision, and then go ahead and make that vision together, because she's had 6, 7, 8 times where like filmmakers and the directors and the screenwriters, like all of a sudden are changing things. And when you have that kind of chaos behind the camera, it's going to affect the on-camera product. Anyway. All right. What's next?
From the Uzi 408. I saw The Fifth Element last night. This could have easily been a bad movie, but it was actually very good. Hey, Ray, the loser of the next bet should wear a Ruby Rod cheetah costume for Halloween.
I don't know what a Ruby Rod cheetah
It's the Chris Tucker costume.
From what?
From Fifth Element.
Oh, really? Oh,
yeah. It's a green. It better be green. I love that movie.
By the way, Fifth Element's pretty damn good. Again, it's one of those movies that's considered like a super classic that I like it.
Yeah.
I like Fifth Element. I don't think it's that good, but I know a lot of people love it. You enjoy it a lot?
I'm a big fan of that one. But that's why film's subjective, right? And it goes back to, you can understand something is a great film, but go, that's not really for me.
Yeah, and I enjoy it. Yeah. I like it. I think it's good. I just don't think it's that all-time classic. Yeah. All right, what's next?
From Ulatan. Welcome back, John.
Thank you.
Have you heard? The Hollywood Reporter is reporting Helen Mirren and Harrison Ford have been tapped to star in 1832.
I have not heard that.
I have not heard that at all.
I don't even know what that project is, but what if is it connected to 1883?
I have no idea.
I don't know either, but I'll look into that because that sounds awesome. Anything with Helen Mirren, anything with Harrison Ford, you got my interest. Thanks for putting that on my radar,
that's going to be playing in my house. Lord.
All right, what's next?
From Alex Mata. Hey, crew. Have you guys had a chance to check out the trailer for the WB game Multiverses? Superman, Iron Giant, Ultra Instinct Shaggy, Arya, and Bugs Bunny all in one fighting game. Sign me up.
Isn't that called Super Smash Brothers? Or what's...
Yeah.
Isn't that just... Okay,
the WB version?
Can I say this? I am so over multiverse in everything. I'm over it. Like, I like Doctor Strange. Love everything everywhere all at once. Still the best movie of the year. But I'm Now everything is like, quick, tag multiverse on everything.
So I'll just file away that Golden Girls multiverse thing I was going to pitch. Okay, forget it.
Give that to me right now.
All right, what's next?
Bobby Jackson. In the latest Thor picture, Bast is there too, right below Portman. Do you think Gore could kill Bast and possibly lead into Black Panther 2 and answer why we don't have T'Challa's Black Panther anymore?
No, I don't think Bast is going to get killed.
Would that be really exciting?
Because the whole thing, I mean, I know it comes from the heart-shaped herb, but I think there's a mysticism angle to that, if there's going to be a Black Panther, there has to be a Bast. So I didn't notice that myself. I didn't see that in the image. So I'll have to take a look at that again myself. By the way, Bast was in Moon Knight when Lila, and I think at that point it was Steven, first walk into that, what do you want to call it? It's not a crypt, a pyramid or whatever, the base of that. There's a big statue in clear view. And correct me if I'm wrong, I'm pretty sure that was Bast.
Ooh.
So anyway, so I haven't seen, but I'll have to go back and take a look at it. Thanks for telling me about it. I did not notice it. I will go and take another look. Thank you, man. All right, what's next?
From William Roush 8657. Over under 50%, Sam Raimi directs another MCU film.
Over. I wouldn't say 90 or 100%, but I will take over 50%.
You could tell he was having fun.
This movie is going to make, first of all, this is a good movie. Again, not top 10. That's fine. This is also a movie that is, I don't know a lot of directors that would have been able to go in there and make it much better. But the bottom line is this. This movie made past the amount of money that the first Doctor Strange movie made in just 10 or 11 days. In just 10 or 11 days, it already made more money than the other one was, and the other one was a hit.
Yeah.
So this thing is going to get close to the $1 billion club right now, because it's already past 700 million at this point. So yeah, I think, again, I'm not going to say 90%, but I will take over 50%.
Yeah.
All right, what's next?
I would take that.
We got to do Al. We missed that at the bottom.
Oh, golly. Al Renshaw, Cocaine Bear just got a release date.
Oh, I forgot about that movie. I didn't even know that was still coming out.
What is Cocaine Bear?
So Cocaine, okay, guys, help me out here. Cocaine Bear is based on a true story about, shit, what was it again? That they loaded up a bear with cocaine or a bear ate a guy that was loaded up. I can't even remember that, but I remember it's based on a true story. We talked about this years ago, and now I cannot remember, but it's actually got, people are saying in the chat, Cocaine Bear, go look it up. I remember we talked a lot about this.
No. It ate the cocaine, like the cocaine fell or they dropped it.
That's where the cocaine, something like that.
And they found the dead bear. And
it's all based on real events. And you should, yes. Bear. So but I think it's been years since I've heard about anything about this. All right, I have to go and look that up.
Oh my
Thank you for that. All right, what's next?
Hold on. By the way, this game that guy brought up looks awesome.
Multiverse?
It has Adventure Time people in there. Steven Universe.
I love Steven Universe.
Again, isn't that exactly what Smash Brothers is?
Yeah, it is. But like seeing these properties, it's kind of cool because you have Tom and Jerry, you got Bugs Bunny, you got all these weird things that shouldn't be together fighting each other, which has always been the trademark of Smash Brothers.
By the way, iconic reactions in the live chat is saying, Cocaine Bear, you have my attention. All right, what's next?
From Fredo, sending love and prayers, John.
Oh, thank you, Fredo. Appreciate that very much. All right, what's next?
From James Argenta, new Yellowstone prequel announced starring Harrison Ford and Helen Mirren.
Oh, it is connected to 18.
There we go.
1932.
Target release date is December on Paramount Plus.
Oh my God, because look, I knew a lot of people were very disappointed when they said 1883 is not getting a season 2, that it was a limited series. A lot of people love that show. By the way, I'm just waiting for Yellowstone to come back. Yellowstone is so good. It's Sons of Anarchy on horseback. But now fast forwarding 50 years, I guess, and calling it Helen Mirren and Harrison Ford. All right. If that is indeed connected to that, sign me up. That sounds awesome. I'm going to have to look into that. We'll talk about it more on the John Campea Show tomorrow. All right, what's next?
From A. Marcellus. Okay, Chris, nerd moment. Oh, okay. Fact checker Jonathan evolves to producer Jonathan. Play Pokemon evolution theme. Yes.
Somebody, some illustrator has to make that.
Megan, make it so. You've got a lot to do. Never mind. If you have time, that'd be really cool.
Megan doesn't have much to do.
Megan has tons to do.
I have no idea who Megan is, by the way. I'm just being a pig. All right, what's next?
From Mickey. Vin Diesel has been posting production videos with the cast of Fast X. Maybe I'm just cynical, but it feels like damage control. Everything is fine. Everything's fine.
Okay, you know what? Under other circumstances, I would agree. If it wasn't for the fact that Vin Diesel always does that, like he's always, like he is, him, Dwayne Johnson, Ryan Reynolds, like that's the kind of triumvirate that are like the most social media active guys out there. And I'm not going to deny that there's probably a little bit of that. It's like, no, everything's cool, guys. Yeah, production problems, budget problems, director leaving after production started. No worries. Dwayne Johnson won't return my calls. It's all good. Look how happy everybody is. I get that, I do. But he's always posting stuff like that when they're in production. So probably just business as usual.
What if it's just the same video that he did with Justin Lin with the rest of the cast and they all have the same reaction? Yeah, it's great, Ben.
So, are we having the best time ever, guys? Yeah, they're looking at their watches.
Best time ever.
Best time ever. Yay. All right, what's next?
From Jordan Ellis, Solo should have been a Disney Plus series and Boba his own film. I can see that.
No, I disagree. I don't think so. No, Solo worked great as a film. I think as a series just would have been dragged out unnecessarily.
But Boba with
Boba
the 6
Fett
episodes?
as a film, Boba Fett was way too stretched out. I mean, 1/3 of the series wasn't even about Boba Fett.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yes, Boba Fett as a feature film, absolutely, that should have been what they did. All right, what's next?
From James Germain, hi, John. League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, Penny Dreadful, Timothy Dalton was a Quartermain-like character to Penny Dreadful.
Actually, that's a great point, too, in Penny Dreadful, which, by the way, I didn't mind Penny Dreadful. I thought it ended kind of weak, but overall, I did like the series. And you're right, I totally forgot about him in that. That's actually a really good comparison. Well done. All right, what's next?
From Irene Jobson, To Infinity and Beyond. Okay.
I don't know what that's in reference to, but can I just take this opportunity again to reaffirm just how freaking good the first 30 minutes to Lightyear are and how I cannot wait to see this whole movie. And I only saw the first 30 minutes, but I'm on record as saying this will become the 4th animated film in history to be nominated for Best Picture.
I ugly cried so hard.
There were so many tears in that audience. which going into a Buzz Lightyear movie, you're not expecting big, ripping heart out of your chest, tearing, bawling eyes, ugly crying.
Because it's Pixar, and they always mess me up.
Oh my God, it was so beautiful. All right, what's next?
For the assistance from Aviation Gin, too.
Yes.
That was such an early show. I didn't have time to have Aviation Gin.
There's a lot of Aviation Gin on that trip. All right, what's next?
I am awesome 418. I saw Star Trek The Motion Picture was being released in theaters. Not knowing any of the movies, should I watch it or pass? Rob, are you watching? Pass.
Yeah. Okay, but to be fair, I have heard that the re-restoration and the new cut and all that kind of stuff, I have heard that it's quite an improvement over because, like, I'll tell you, the first Star Trek film, it's League of Extraordinary Gentlemen bad.
Ooh.
I mean, it's bad. It's a bad film. But I have heard really good things about this restoration and all that kind of stuff. So I haven't seen it yet, but I'm actually very curious to see it.
I'm interested in seeing it.
All right. Okay, what's next?
Rob's going to message me.
Official friend zone. John, why don't you like Conor McGregor?
I used to be a very, very big Conor McGregor fan until he became an insufferable asshole. And when I stopped being a fan of his, when he pulled that little pathetic, stupid stunt where him and a gaggle of his, 15 ball jugglers who came running alongside him threw a metal cart at a bus window, carrying a bunch of people in it, and the broken glass cut one of the fighters' eyes.
Oh my gosh.
Thug Rose is on that bus, and she was so traumatized by the event, she didn't fight for a while again after that. Literally endangered people's careers and lives, all for a publicity stunt, and he got away with it. Like, the UFC really didn't punish him at all, anything like that. And at that point, like, I used to be so... Ray, you remember, I would get so excited about Conor McGregor fights, but at that point I went, nah, he's really just a big piece of shit.
He just ran in, and also fight-wise, because you know what, like, a lot of his thing is just really to promote fights, but then that thing happened, and then that was kind of like... But as in, what's the most important, the fight game, he's just not been it. Like for
Well, I mean, don't
for
get me
the
wrong.
past couple fights, he hasn't been. He
He's
may
a
have run
great
into
fighter,
the,
but look who he fought in his last couple of fights,
Yeah.
right? Like he lost to Habib Nurmagomedov,
which was
who
a given.
Nobody ever would beat him. Nobody beats the Eagle, right? So that's fine. He lost to him. Everybody loses to him. That's no shame on Conor McGregor for that. Then he lost to Dustin Poirier. Again, I think other than Habib and now you've got Charles Oliveira, but I think Dustin the Diamond Poirier is a guy at the top of his game. I think he's a top 10 pound for pound fighter in the world. So it's not like he was losing to mid-tier guys. He's lost to some big guys, but
I think his problem was he's getting too much of his feelings involved with the what's his name, Dustin's the rivalry with him. What he should have done is just fight other fighters after his loss and then come back to Dustin, just like Dustin did to him. I mean, sometimes you need to get yourself in focus, but not with the same guy.
Now,
Because the
over
same
and over
guy's
again,
going
you've
to
already
keep beating
lost
you.
twice to him. You
Yeah.
lost twice to him.
Well,
Time to move on.
it's
Anyway,
just- yeah.
too many. Not enough
Right.
people are interested in UFC who watch our show. We should move on. All right, what's next?
From Fabian, have you entertained the thought of MCU changing to MCM? How do you feel about it?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
MCU to Marvel Cinematic
Multiverse.
Multiverse?
Oh, that's when I honestly, that's when I check out of the MCU. Like when I talk about how I'm really getting over multiverse stuff, because multiverse cripples all storytelling. Multiverse takes away any stakes, any danger, any sense of consequences. It's all gone. And without that in your storytelling becomes boring. You know what your storytelling becomes? 15 cameos and the audience will pop. You know what? I can eat Choco Frosted Sugar Bombs and get a sugar high too, but it just dissipates really fast. If they really do become the MCM, you're going to see me probably check out of the MCU at some point. But I mean, hey, for now I'm still enjoying it, but let's see where they go. All right, what's next?
From Jerome, why do you think loved Walter White turning bad but not Daenerys? Why do you think people loved Walter White turning bad but not Daenerys?
Well, Walter White, listen, the whole show, right from episode 1, first of all, the name of the show is Breaking Bad. Right? I mean, and the very first shot of the show, it's been a long time since I've seen episode 1, but the very first scene of the show is him standing out in his underwear in the desert. Okay, this is going somewhere bad. With Daenerys, people got too into her, that she was their hero. And that's great. But people should have listened to me for 3 years when I told them she's a jerk, she's going bad. And you can see all the signs there now. And everybody said, no, John, you're so crazy. She's not going bad. I'm like, look, it's clear. For 3 years I said it. She's clearly a jerk. Daenerys is a huge jerk.
Spoiler.
And then, spoiler, and then when she turned to me watching it, it was the most natural thing because I saw it the whole time, and if anybody was looking, they should have seen it too. But there were a lot of people around the world who were having babies and naming their babies Daenerys.
How y'all feel about that now?
Yeah.
You still love your baby?
Yeah.
I just feel, for me, it was, you could definitely see that turn, but it was, everything she was doing felt justified for her, right? I am the breaker of chains.
Yeah.
I free people. I do all of this. And you could see this buildup of, this is going to get to a point, though, where you are going to become a tyrant by thinking you're,
justified in doing what it is you're doing. Yep.
Exactly. But because that last season was so rushed and so many things were shoehorned, it was just and today, fuck all of you. I hate everybody. Jon Snow, I'm going to kill you. It was just a whole bunch of stuff of her being really bad really quickly.
I think people underestimated because there are supervillains in movies who have turned bad quicker for less. Because you're right, they already laid all that groundwork that she, in her eyes, she was, number one, she was entitled to the throne. You always got that from the beginning. Everything that happens is justified because I'm entitled to the throne. Secondly, they had all that process, right? But I think people underestimate that one episode and that one scene when the Fast and the Furious girl, I can't remember her name, the girl who's in Fast and the Furious.
Oh, yeah. I don't.
Who was her herald. She would be the one that would announce her. She freed her and she became her best friend in the world, her bestie. And then Cersei took her to the top of the wall. And I can't remember if they cut off her head first or just pushed her off the wall right in front of Daenerys.
No, they beheaded her.
What's that? They beheaded her first?
Yeah.
That's right. So they beheaded her first, right in front of her, and dropped her. To me, I have seen supervillain turns for far less than that. And when you had a character that was as self-centered and as self-promoting and as self-serving as Daenerys was through this whole thing, and then you take her to that brink where now you break her. She just watched her closest ally and friend beheaded and dropped. She felt totally justified. I'm going to raise that whole city.
Yeah.
Because now, not only do I hold Cersei responsible, I now hold the people there for not doing something about her responsible. She held it all responsible, went in there and took care of business. I agree with you, though. As much as I like the final season of Game of Thrones, by the way, broke all the records for most Emmy wins in the history of television. The final season did. But there is no excuse for it being as short as it was.
Yeah.
Also, that
No
twist
excuse.
in that final season where we find out Starbucks has been there the whole time. Even years beyond, Starbucks has been around.
Damn cup. They're never going to get past that
about
cup.
the cup.
All right, what's next?
From Bobby Jackson, the problem with Kathleen Kennedy's statement isn't that they won't recast, but that she doesn't discount more deep fakes of old characters.
I don't want to see them do that either. Like, listen, doing it once with one character, like, again, the Luke showing up. Here's why I love the Luke showing up at the end of Mandalorian season 2, because it fit the narrative. It fit the story. It wasn't just blah, 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 blah. Okay, we're going to go get some space coffee and blah, blah. Oh, look, Luke's here, right? It was totally consistent and in line with what they had been building up to. And that was there and it was perfect. It even worked that they worked him into Book of Boba Fett a little bit. Again, narratively, that makes sense in what they're doing. I get that, but I just don't want to see them go, you know, okay, now we're doing this mission totally unrelated. Let's go into the spaceport. Oh, look, there's a young Lando or something like that. I think that's what made the Luke stuff special. How do you think they should go about stuff? Should they try to employ more deep fake or just stay away from it?
I think they should stay away from it. I think all the chat's going to be mad. Let the past die. Let's move on.
Let it die. Bury it. All right, what's next?
From Phoenix Rising. Breaking news, Ryan Reynolds plays all 4 members of the Fantastic Four by StephenFartReview.com. Oh, Ryan is going to be
that.
He's going to be so good as
Ryan
Sue.
will absolutely kill that. His Sue Storm,
Mwah.
chef's kiss. It'll be golden. Come on, who wouldn't watch that movie?
I truly would. I sat through Green Lantern. I'd sit through this.
Oh, there you go. All right, what's next?
From Jacob Flynn, sending a $50 super chat.
Oh my God, thank you, Jacob. Appreciate that, man.
Hey guys, finally got to join as director level member. I'm so
thank you so
happy.
much, Jacob.
Today was payday, so I had to be sure to support the group that helps me get through the week, honestly. Thanks for all you guys. Really, nothing but love for all of you.
Well, thank you so much for that, Jacob. And again, if those of you guys who don't know, we have opened up channel memberships. Thank you to all of you guys who become channel members. I even did, while I was in Canada, we did a channel members only Ask Me Anything chat. So thank you to everybody who was participating in that. We do like open town hall meetings for our director and producer level members every couple of weeks. We did one last week before I went. We'll probably do another one this week. So guys, keep your guys open for that. When we put up mail bags, they get released first to our channel members and stuff like that. So just little things like that. So guys, thank you so much to all of you who did that. And thank you, Jacob, for becoming a channel member, man. That really means a lot. Thank you. All right, what's next?
From the Everything Nerd, been growing my Scream Factory horror titles. Latest editions are The Craft and Escape from New York. First time watching for the latter. Cheers.
Okay, correct me. Was Sebastian Stan in The Craft? It was an older witchcraft, like teen girls witchcraft movie, and I can't remember. Guys in the live chat, help me out with this. By the way, Dan Ho just became a director level member. Thank you, Dan. Appreciate that, man. What was the movie I'm thinking of? The Covenant.
Okay.
Max Cohen is brilliant. The Covenant.
I don't think he's in that one.
I remember. So Sebastian Stan came into my studio once, and I can't remember which movie he was promoting, but he came in and we sat down. We chatted a bit first, and then before the show started, I said, "Okay, can I ask you something before the show starts?" He's like, "Yeah." Like, tell me about the Covenant. And he goes, "I knew you were going to ask me about the Covenant." And then we talked a little bit about the Covenant. Anyway, there's that. But what was the one you just mentioned?
So he talked about The Craft and then
Craft.
Escape from New York. I know The Craft is like supernatural and horror. That's a film that I love, and you know how I feel about horror as a genre.
Yeah, you're not a horror person at all.
I love that movie because it's really at its core just about mean girls and what you can do with power. I love that film.
There's a couple of like female vampire movies that are like that. What was that one where there's a group of high school cliquey plastic girls that become vampires and they start. I can't remember the name of that one too. It's a great little subgenre. All right,
would watch
what's
that.
next?
From Hoser Mize, the Star Wars acolytes will take place in the High Republic. Yes.
Probably. I think I heard something like that. I honestly don't care what era. Just the idea of looking at a Sith acolyte, that to me sounds incredibly, especially since it's coming from the director and the showrunner of Russian Dolls. That is probably my most excited, most anticipated Star Wars project they've got going right now until we hear anything about a Kevin Feige project.
Yeah.
But for now, that's the one that to me I'm most excited about, regardless of the era. All right, what's next?
From Jermaine Smith, sending in a $50 super chat.
Oh, thank you, Jermaine.
Thank you.
Very much. Thanks for supporting us on that level, man.
My dream finally came true, and I got hired at Disney.
Wow.
Blessings are coming for everyone. Praying for your mom, John.
Thank you so much. And again, for those of you joining us late, the hardest, the biggest hurdle, the thing they didn't think she was going to make it through was the surgery, and she made it through the surgery. So, yeah, thank you to everybody. Again, I've been in Canada for the last little bit, so thank you to everybody for all your well wishes.
I can't believe the successor to Bob Chapek just wrote in and said he's the new CEO right there.
Jermaine's running things. I love
Jermaine is
it.
now in charge of Disney.
Yeah, no more Chapek.
Boy, I tell you what, I know Anne, when she was looking for jobs, Disney a couple of times were options for her for different things. And boy, there are some sweet perks to working with Disney. Sweet perks. I'll say that.
I was a lowly intern and I got great perks. That's how they get you.
Oh, yeah.
That's how they get you to drink the Mickey Kool-Aid.
I had an interview with the Jack in the Box right outside of Disney. Right outside of Disney, baby. I'm getting closer.
Practically worked there.
Getting closer.
All right, what's next?
From Jordan Ellis, how about that Chip and Dale score? 77% so far. LOL. Take that, LeBron. This is how you do cameos and make them worth something. LOL.
I'm not going to lie to you. I'm never going to watch this movie. But I will say, as bad as that LeBron James Space Jam was, it wasn't that much worse than I'm sorry. I like whatever your nostalgic feelings are, it wasn't that much worse than Michael Jordan's Space Jam, which was not all that good either. But the one thing that they did pretty good in that bad LeBron James Space Jam movie, I got a real kick out of always whenever they were on the basketball, like in the fantasy basketball arena. Always every time I look at stills, I'm picking out new people in there, stuff like that. And it's kind of fun to do that, I will admit, just seeing who is there. But
It's like
They did a great job with that.
did any of you guys see the Chippendales? You know what he's talking about with the cameos?
Well, so I've seen the trailers. Logan auditioned for this film too, so we read some of the script. And I'm interested to see how this pans out. It feels very Roger Rabbit-y right now. But I kind of like how you feel about multiverses.
Right.
I am a little sick of the self-aware reboot a little bit.
right.
I know I said that I'm excited about that for She-Hulk, but there's just something about some of these old properties where it's like, I know I'm a movie star.
There's a difference though between what we saw in the She-Hulk trailer and that.
Yeah.
Though. Yeah.
And that because I genuinely love Chippendale Rescue Rangers so much. When I first heard this was getting greenlit, Logan and I wrote this trailer treatment where it's a dark and gritty version of it because it was when DC was doing everything dark and
One of
gritty.
them was hooked on Cocaine Bear.
It was Monterey Jack was injecting cheese whiz into himself like it was heroin. Because that's the kind of stuff I like to write. So I think it'll be interesting. It looks like it has the potential to be really cute, and I really like Andy Samberg and John Mulaney. So
I'm shocked that you're not published.
I know, right?
Sounds like
how are more people not
how is this
producing
not
my
getting
stuff?
made into something?
Oh my gosh!
Sponsor us, Cheese Whiz.
You cowards!
You coward.
Are you even there, Cheese
Cheese
Whiz?
Whiz. Put it into your veins.
Does that even still exist, Cheese Whiz?
It does.
I hope so.
It does.
My
It's
dad loved
magnificent.
Cheese Whiz and Velveeta.
I'd love
I
to
used
see
to
what-
take Cheese Whiz and put it on Ritz crackers and put it in the microwave and melt it a little bit, get a little soft.
Oh, dang. I would do just the Goofy movie thing where I'd make the Leaning Tower of Cheesa and then scarf that
See,
down.
but what we didn't have Cheese Whiz in a bottle in Canada. We had
Oh.
it was in a jar and you like scoop it out like Nutella.
What?
Did you guys have Nutella?
Oh, yeah.
Maybe
Okay,
Canada
so
gets
yeah.
bread one day because it's way better on bread.
Cheese Whiz on bread?
Yeah.
Sorry, we're getting way sidetracked. Sorry about this, guys. All
What
right, what's
chat
next?
am I in right now? What is this show?
What's next?
It's lunchtime, baby.
From Al Renshaw, I'm thinking about buying tickets to Maestro at the movies at some point.
Oh, yes.
Maybe even this year, but it would be expensive coming from Chicago. Any advice on hotels, parking, best seats, etc.?
Well, I mean, yeah. So what he's talking about is the annual Maestro of the Movies concert that John Williams does at the Hollywood Bowl. Ann and I go every year. And it's always one of the best things we do every year. It's always so much fun. He does less and less of it.
Yeah.
Like 5 or 6 years ago, he did the whole thing. Then like 4 years ago, he did like 3/4 of it. And then David Newman, who is the son of John Williams's mentor, who now leads the LA Philharmonic, he would come out and do 1/4 of it. And then David Newman started doing half of it. And now he does a little bit more than half of it.
Sounds
like he'll
like
do
a-
the first, David Newman will do the first part of it. Then there's the intermission. And then now David Newman will come out and start the second part. And then John Williams comes out. Because John Williams is in his 90s.
Yeah,
Give him a break.
He's old.
Transitioning.
But I'm telling you what, he's transitioning.
No. He's transitioning
To retirement.
for him
Yeah.
to take over.
Yeah.
That guy to take over.
So, but I'm telling you, to see John Williams, that's a walking on water kind of moment. Every time John Williams comes out and you realize I am in the presence of John Williams, the greatest composer in movie history. And he comes out and he plays his stuff and the audience goes crazy. The best place to stay, I don't know what the name of it is. I think it's called the Lowe's Hotel now, right at Hollywood and Highland. Get the Lowe's Hotel at Hollywood and Highland. Easy to find online. It is about a 5-minute, 10-minute walk up the road from the Hollywood Bowl.
Yeah.
So you just stay there and then you can just walk up to the bowl.
Nice.
Listen, he ain't gonna do one next year, I don't think.
No.
I haven't heard any news. This might be the last year he does it. So if you can get to it quickly. All right, what's next?
Oh, also the Roosevelt Hotel if you want like old Hollywood. That one's really pretty.
Yeah, Roosevelt, but that's probably more expensive.
It definitely is.
Yes.
Yeah. Al Renshaw. I am thinking about
we
buying.
got
Oh,
that
that's
one
what we just
instead.
did. Jedediah Elias. Hey, Ray.
hey,
There's an
Elias.
There's an AMC Investor Connect screening for the Bob's Burgers movie on May 22nd. So excited.
Are you still? You have not been big on the trailers. Are you still excited for the
I'm
movie?
excited, but it's not one of those ones where it's like I'm counting down the days. When it comes out, I'll go see it. I mean, it's just not that type of movie for me. Like, as in, like I get excited for Thor, or it's just one of those ones where I'm happy that there's a movie coming out and I'll see it. I'll see it opening day most likely. So,
All right, what's next?
From James Wheeler, sending in a $20 super chat.
Thank you, James.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for all you do. I'm also so happy your mom is doing well, John.
I'm not going to do the Universal Dark Universe movies where we're going to celebrate. Look, everybody, Johnny Depp and Javier Bardem and everybody. I'm not going to get ahead of myself here. I'm not going to say my mom's doing well. I'm just going to say that she cleared the biggest hurdle. So I'm not going to lie to you. I'm in a pretty damn good mood right now. So you
step by step, day by day.
look, you guys got to understand, when my sisters called me, it was mom's going to die. And I'm not going to get emotional. But when my sisters called me, it was mom's going to die.
Oh.
And it was real grim and things were not looking good. And the fact that she has made it out of the surgery, which a lot of them said that she ain't going to make it out of the surgery. I'm feeling pretty good, but I'm not going to get ahead of myself. There's still a long road ahead of us, but things are much better today than they were a few days ago. I'm feeling a lot better. All right. Thank you for that, by the way. All right. What's next?
From Javi. Super setting in support. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I get it. I think that's a reference to the Nicolas Cage movie.
Nice.
Where's Javi? I am Javi.
Matt Mobile. What's up, my moisty boys?
Wasty boys.
Do you guys think Doctor Strange 2 had more graphic, scary stuff than Venom 2 did? Also, I thought the music fight from Kung Fu Hustle with the harp was cooler than Strange's music fight.
I will say this. There was the stuff in Venom was more violent. The stuff in Strange was scarier. Again, like I go back to this a lot, but when we saw our first screening of it, we came out and there was a young couple who had a little guy there with them. They had their little guy with them.
And a Wanda toy.
And a Wanda toy who was straight up traumatized. And I don't think that kid probably got traumatized watching Venom. I mean, Venom was brutal. A lot of people lost their subscription to life in Venom. Many, many murders in Venom. But it's it was comic book action. Like it was a lot of that. There was straight up horror in Doctor Strange 2. So I'll say Doctor Strange 2 was significantly scarier, I think. All right, what's next?
From Tim, NBA draft lottery tonight. Can the Wizards hire you, John, as a special consultant come draft day? You clearly have an eye for talent based on the crew you brought in. Oh, it's a sports ball reference, but it's a compliment. I understand.
Thank you so much. See, the problem is with the first pick, the Washington Wizards select out of retirement Larry Bird, and that's not going to work out well. I'm not now maybe I should be a GM of a hockey team. That might be better, but for the NBA, I wouldn't probably select a very good team. But here, I do a pretty good job here. Yes. All right, what's next?
From Stephen, first time super chat for me from London. Hi, Ray.
Thank you so much, Steve. What was Stephen's last name there? I want to remember. Steven Steps. Thank you so much, Stephen. Good to have you here, man. All right, what's next?
From Wayne Edwards, as a fan of Movie Club, I'm a little bummed to hear its future is in question. I love the talk about classic films, and I love seeing Ray's reaction when he sees these films.
Listen, I really do enjoy it. Look, I did not say we are canceling Movie Club, but I'm always
on hiatus.
No, it's not on hiatus either. Like it's just we couldn't do it the one week because we were in CinemaCon.
Right.
Then we couldn't do last week because I didn't know when I was going to have to get on a plane and go to Canada. Yeah. And now we can't do it this week because Rob is out. The living, walking Petri dish is out. Yeah. So we're going to have to get it. So listen, I did not say we were canceling Movie Club. I'm just saying, listen, I'm not thrilled with the numbers we're getting on it. It does take a lot of combined man hours to get it put together with the schedules that we have. So I'm just saying, listen, at the very minimum, we're going to do 5, 6, 7 more, and then we'll see where we go. So I'm not saying we're canceling it. We might keep it going. There's just a possibility we might not. We'll see. It's up to you guys. It's always up to you guys. All right, what's next?
From Lucky BX, John, do you finally know who Michael Stuhlbarg is? He played Dr. West in Doctor Strange 1 and 2. He also played In Your Honor and Boardwalk Empire.
I really liked him in Boardwalk Empire. I never knew his name though. He's one of these guys where you see his face. He's like a David Morse.
Yeah, there you go.
Everybody sees the face and I've seen this guy in 100 things, but nobody knows his name. And you just told me his name. I'll forget it in about 10 minutes. But I really love seeing him pop up in these things. I really do.
Yeah.
All right, what's next?
From Official Friend Zone, he has such a great mind for business, and his pub in Dublin looks incredible.
I don't.
You had written in before, but you didn't put a part 1 or 2, so I'm sorry if that was a connected thing.
Do you remember what he was talking about before?
I have no idea.
Anyway, I'm sure he's great at business.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's so good.
Great at business.
And we love his pub in Dublin.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, what's next?
From Voltage Volt, sending in a $20 super chat. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Voltage.
Hey, John, been watching since the Collider days, but I need to know, is a hot dog a sandwich or a taco? Thoughts?
Oh God! Well, it's
definitely not a taco.
It's definitely not a taco.
But is it a sandwich?
It kind of is.
Because you know what? I used to fight this, and then I thought, but wait a minute. There's sausage sandwiches, and a hot dog is basically just another type of sausage. So I just conceded, and I say it's a sandwich now. But I don't say, let me have a hot dog sandwich.
Yeah, no. I've never thought of it, but yeah, when you put it that way, I guess literally it is a sandwich. Piece of meat in between bread, you eat it, add healthy amounts of mayonnaise, and away you go.
You're all factually correct, but it's always on a different part of the menu.
Is it? Oh, that's true.
It typically is.
You're right. It's never listed as sandwiches. And nor should it be. It's its own thing.
Yeah.
It's its own thing.
A hot dog is a hot dog.
God bless it. All right, what's next?
From Andy. Hi, John. Thankful to see you back and glad your mom made it through the surgery. My warmest thoughts to you and your mom.
Thank you so much. And it is really good to be back. But again, it's great to know that we have such talented people here that even when I'm not able to be here, they can put on such a fantastic show without me. And so it learned a lot of great things while I was gone. So put it that way. Thanks a lot for that. All right, what's next?
Fantastic. Are you sure?
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
From Luis. Did you see the new trailer for The Boys season 3 yesterday? It was awesome. What are your expectations?
Nope.
I haven't watched it either.
I haven't watched it yet.
I
mean, obviously, I was a little preoccupied with things yesterday.
Yeah.
So I did not, but I'm going to have to watch it right away because I'm dying to see The Boys season 3. All right, what's next?
From Faisal. Hi, crew. Hi.
Hello, Faisal. Thanks for writing that in, man. It's always nice just wants to ring and say hi. Hello. All right, what's next?
And then we've got some support from Kevin Peterson. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kevin.
Dr. J, Smothering Monogamy, starring Chrissy Denisio, coming soon to Cinemax.
Smothering Monogamy.
And Logan let me know, too, that it's supposed to be something like, what is it? What did he say? I said it wrong because it's something he says all the time where he's like, I would never want to date anyone again. And I just want to have this kind of like soul. It's not soul crushing, but it's something like that. Of him just being like,
wow, you really sell marriage.
I know.
You guys really make it sound so good.
I'm so happy with him. We say terrible
Smothering
things all
monogamy.
the time.
What did you just say? Soul crushing.
Soul crushing.
Soul
something.
crushing. Smothering
Logan, tell me what
monogamy.
it is. I know you're in the chat being ridiculous with Irene, so correct me. All right.
Okay, what's next?
From Essence Brown, some support. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Essence.
From Jorge Ore 86, first time super chatter, long
Thank you,
time
Jorge.
viewer. Just wanted to say thank you for being a positive distraction through our pain. Much love from Buffalo. Oh my gosh, Jorge. I hope you're doing okay.
Buffalo,
That was-
the only above ground hole in the world.
Oh man.
I can't. So I grew up right around Buffalo. My hometown of Hamilton is like literally 45 minutes from Buffalo. It's like right across, just going to Niagara Falls, cross the bridge in Niagara Falls, and you're in Buffalo. I used to go to a lot of hockey games in Buffalo because it was like 1/4 the price of trying to go to a Toronto Maple Leafs game. So sometimes my dad, sometimes my buddies would go across the thing, go watch some Sabres games. Definitely try to go over there when Toronto was playing. And we'd go shopping all the time because this is back in the day when the disparity between the Canadian dollar and the American dollar wasn't so bad. And so it was like really cheap. Sometimes if you were a Canadian, now it's different. But back then it was like really cheap to drive across the border and buy stuff in Buffalo instead. I used to love going to Buffalo. Thank you for writing in, man.
Yeah, and
By the way, the location of the Jim Carrey when he becomes God.
Bruce Almighty.
Bruce Almighty. Yeah, that's the town in which
in
Bruce
Buffalo,
Almighty takes place.
Well, I hope too, Jorge, that you and your family and everyone are safe. I know those attacks in Buffalo were really scary. So thanks for still watching and everything.
All right, what's next?
Brian Whitney sending in another $50. Brian, what do you do?
At this point, producer credit to Brian Whitney.
You know, Brian earlier was in the chat. He's like, how do I send a super chat? I said, just ask in here. And if I'll just read it out loud. I mean, I think you might as well.
Brian can do what he wants. Thank you, Brian.
All right, what's next?
And then we've got more support from Fredo. So thank you so much, Fredo.
Thank you, Fredo. And that's it for today's super late installment of the John Campea Show. Thank you guys for being here and making this show a part of your day, even though it was like 3-something hours later than it normally is. Thanks, guys, for hanging out with us here today. Big special thank you to all you guys who sent in those super chats, like Brian. Number one, because you gave us great fun things to talk about. But number two, you supported this channel as you did it. And all of us involved with the John Campea Show, thank you guys so much for your support. I want to thank the people sitting here with me. First of all, Chris Carr. Chris, where can people find you online?
You can find me enjoying my suffocating monogamy. There it is.
Suffocating, soul-crushing.
You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at actor Chris Carr.
Ray Ora's over there, been joining you guys in the live chat. Ray, where can people find you?
Ray Ora with a 0.
Of course, producer Jonathan back there. Which, well, by the way, we got to get. Are you comfortable now that we can get a camera put over there now?
I've been comfortable. We just haven't had the time.
All right, we'll set up a camera for tomorrow so you guys can see producer Jonathan. Thank you, Jonathan, and thank you again to all of you guys again. From the bottom of my heart, thank you for all the outpouring of well wishes and thoughts that you guys have sent my family's way. I deeply, deeply appreciate it. It means a lot to me. So thank you for that. We'll be back again tomorrow. I hope you guys make tomorrow part of your day as well. That'll do it for us for now, guys. Thanks a lot for being here. My name's John Campea. And until next time, my friends, suffocating monogamy.